Hi again, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to you wherever you may be joining us. We'd like to welcome you to the 2025 home opener of Bakersfield College Renegades football right here on KERN News Talk AM 1180, 96.1 FM, as well as online on YouTube on the Go Gades Athletics Network. I'm Rob Chavez, alongside my partner, former Renegades captain, coach, and the Hall of Famer, Kenny Calvin. We also have our fantastic director, Julian Wilson, not to mention Steve Nicholas back at the KERN station downtown. We're brought to you today by Carpet Outlet Plus, Valley Strong, Barbit Hooper, King Dill Hoffman, CSUB, Pepsi, Sully's, Executive Express Service, Hawking Denton and Palmquist, and Luigi's. Tonight is not just week 2 of the regular season and the home opener versus longtime rivals Allan Hancock, but we're celebrating the 70th anniversary of the greatest junior college stadium in America, Bakersfield's Memorial Stadium, the Palace on Panorama, as Kenny refers to it. So, Kenny, you and I both played in this stadium. Tens of thousands of other people have played in this stadium. Athletes, not just football players, athletes. What does this stadium in particular mean to you, and for it to be still the crowning jewel of JUCO sports?
You know, one of my favorite things to do every Saturday for pregame is just to reflect. You know, you reflect on your memories of why you love the game as an athlete. You reflect on why you love it as a coach and broadcaster. As a Renegade, you reflect on the faces that made you fall in love with this place. And today I had a chance to reflect while reading the Bible of Bakersfield College Football, Haley Street Heroes, by our Hall of Fame, newly announced Hall of Fame inductee, Rick Van Horn, and just going through the years and seeing the history that we have. I mean, we played teams like Fresno State in 1924 and beat them 9-0 in this stadium. Did you hear what I just said to the Fresno State Bulldogs? Our director, Julian Wilson. We go back that far in this stadium doing great things. And to think about all the faces that made me fall in love with this place, I'm just honored to be here. Frank Gifford, just David Deacon Turner, David Manning, my Hall of Fame classmate and father figure, as he was a father to my Renegade captain, and Chad Manning and
David Dunn.
And David Dunn, the Lincoln High legend coach, was a guy that made a name for himself out here before he went to be a Fresno State Bulldog and a Raider.
Stan Green.
Bengal. Stan
Rick
Green.
Maple. Or Jim Maples.
Nixon. All of these names.
Yes, Brian Nixon, all these guys.
Right, and think about all of those names. All of those guys are older than me.
Jeremy Stott.
Right, and then you're talking about my co-captains, right? The stadium's 70th anniversary, it's like the ghosts have come back tonight to celebrate with us and talk about how great this night's going to be. I'm excited, man. It's a historic night.
Not to mention, you got to look on that sideline and all those former Renegades that are now leading the new Renegades, starting with brand new head coach Tyler Thompson, who started his career, what we hope to be an illustrious career, long career here, with a win on the road to Santa Ana. We're hoping that he gets win number 1 for himself as a head coach right here at Memorial Stadium. Seth Dameron, former Renegade. Ken Chapman, former Renegade. Your man, Richie Castro, former Renegade. James McGill. These guys are all former Renegades.
James Fat McGill was the best DB in the country when he was a Renegade. That's how you end up getting a full-ride scholarship to go play in the Big 12 for Kansas State.
So you had mentioned a couple of things, but a few other things when it comes to Memorial Stadium. This hosted the first junior college bowl game ever, and it was known nationwide as the most prestigious bowl game for many, many years, and that was the Shriners Potato Bowl. You played in a couple of them.
Man, back-to-back champs.
And, again, that was established in 1948, ran every year here in Memorial Stadium until 1995, and then rejoined back into that consecutive year streak in 1997. And they played that game until 2009. So we're just talking only about 16 years ago that you had a really long-standing Shriners Potato Bowl. I'm sure a lot of guys that are listening have their trophies, have all their little knickknacks and things like that they got from Potato Bowl championships. But they also, I think, again, not only just the 88 Potato Bowl that I was at when I was a young guy, the Potato Bowls you played in, but that 2012 state championship game right here where they defeated and convincingly defeated City College of San Francisco in 2012.
Yeah, that was a historic moment, watching a lot of my little bros and family members have their own great moment, which was, a pinnacle based on the fact that we didn't get to have a state championship because we didn't have a playoff format when I was a player. But luckily I was able to coach some amazing teams as well. That 2007 team went 12-1 with Cody Stone and a couple of other guys. And now Coach Cody Stone, he's coaching over at Bakersfield High, bringing out the best out of those guys. Guys like Brandon Banks, he's going into the Hall of Fame. Ends up being the MVP of the Canadian Football League after he's a Redskin, after he was a guy that was catching 94-yard touchdowns in that 2007 campaign. So, the 2012 team was just a microcosm of how the level just continued to ascend. They had kids like Alfonso Jackson, Chris Hannibal. Those guys were two-way guys that could start anywhere in the country and end up getting their Division I offers as well. So, kudos to that 2012 team. That's definitely one of the greatest teams of all time. State champs.
One of the greatest moments I've ever been a part of here. And, again, watching you guys win that Potato Bowl as well, too, in the final game for Coach Bowser, carrying him on shoulders out of here. That was awesome. 16,000, though, people watching that 2012 state championship game, 21,000 people watching that 88 championship game against Taft College. Stan Green throwing that out route and everybody going nuts.
Right.
That was amazing.
And going back to that, I want to make sure I answer the question that you asked about Coach Bowser's last game. It's so much pressure on us as a team to make sure that we upheld that standard, because you got to remember, we lost the game in that season when we were ranked number 1 in the nation and ended up dropping to 5. And everybody thought that because it was Bowser's last year, we were going to go out in the average fashion. We ended up running off 8 straight games after that loss, because I remember vividly because I had an article about going 2-1 and how I had to run the table. And we made sure to do that for Coach Bowser based on, hey, we don't want to be the guys that have a blemish on his career. And that was the motivation for us all season, being able to carry him off the field in heroes fashion was a dream come true for us as
and
kids.
You see that in the new Renegade Athletic Center right in the lobby. You see that picture of him getting carried off by your team, as we see the 2025 Renegades that are coming right out onto the field from the northwest corner of the stadium. We talk, and we're going to take a quick break after this, get into the game preview, and talk about the opponents, Allan Hancock, and how everything went last week. But just kind of, again, want to highlight the stuff here with Memorial Stadium. Largest crowd ever, and I was also here in attendance. If not, it would have been 23,700 even. I was at 23,701st person in here to watch Bakersfield High against Bishop Amat. And I tell you, that was incredible.
I got a correction for you, because the largest crowd, well, that crowd was definitely a huge crowd, but the 27,500 crowd of BHS versus Foothill when we played Sheehy was the largest crowd.
Okay. Well, they need to update that Wikipedia page.
Yep, they got to update that. They're trying to steal our shine. That was the biggest game.
Shout out to Coach Sheehy, to our man Steve Wofford as well, too.
Joey Porter's getting inducted into Colorado State's Hall of Fame today.
Yep.
He played a lot of great games in this stadium.
There were just a lot of guys that played in the stadium, of course, because, East High, Highland, this was their home field for quite some time. When games got too big for Griffith or games got too big for the stadium at Foothill, the games would be brought up here. to be played. So just amazing stuff. You had all those big trees that were right over there by the logo that are no longer there. So it was pretty awesome. And the last thing I want to bring up before we take a break, just 8 years ago, they brought professional hockey here to
beautiful.
Memorial Stadium. The Bakersfield Condors hosted the Condors Town Outdoor Classic, and that was pretty awesome because I got a chance to bring my kids up here. You know, they had a skating rink, they had artificial snow, they had the game out on the field. It was awesome. One of those things. So Memorial Stadium has a lot of memories in it, 70 years worth of memories, and we're hoping that this 71st year coming up is going to be just as memorable as the ones that you've heard from Kenny and I talking about the past. So we're going to take a quick time out here. We're going to come back, preview this matchup against the Allan Hancock Bulldogs right here on KERN News, AM 1180, 96.1 FM, and on the Go Gades YouTube page.
Life's better when you're a member of Valley Strong Credit Union. Because footing the bill's hard, but getting points makes it easy. And going to the pharmacy's a pain. But saving on your prescriptions is a relief. And unexpected bills are hard. But getting your paycheck direct deposited early makes it easier. When life moves, keeping up is easy with Valley Strong's new checking benefits.
Can I get a better business loan rate?
Searching. Recipe for cake.
Business owners have questions.
I can answer your questions.
Valley Strong has solutions. Learn how our cash management services can support your business.
Can I get a better business loan rate?
Searching. Recipe for cake.
Business owners have questions.
I can answer your questions.
Valley Strong has solutions. Learn how our cash management services can support your business.
Can I get a better business loan rate?
Searching. Recipe for cake.
Business owners have questions.
I can answer your questions.
Valley Strong has solutions. Learn how our cash management services can support your business.
Can I get a better business loan rate?
Searching. Recipe for cake.
Business owners have questions.
I can answer your questions.
Valley Strong has solutions. Learn how our cash management services can support your business.
Can I get a better business loan?
Back to Bakersfield College Memorial Stadium for the 70th anniversary game and home opener of the 2025 year here for Bakersfield College as they face the Allan Hancock Bulldogs. Rob Chavez alongside Kenny Calvin with Julian Wilson flanking us to the left. Steve Nicholas back at the Current News Talk station. We're going to talk a little bit about this matchup here, but we're going to highlight a little bit and talk about that impressive performance last week in Santa Ana. We were at the station. We were watching that. They come in, again, Renegades coming in 1-0, one of three teams in our conference to be 1-0 after last week. And Kenny, the Renegades showed much of the same defensive strength that they've shown over the last few years and consistent offensive production like last season. What did they do a little differently, in your opinion, this past week that they really didn't do in previous season openers?
Well, what we did, we found a way to make big plays, to minimize big plays. That big play by Richard Gooden to thwart the momentum of Santa Ana last week was an example of how we can exceed expectations when offense isn't clicking on all cylinders. Because, being honest, we talked about the quarterbacks and the offense and the running backs more than anybody leading into last week's game. And the running backs and offensive line did very well. Quarterbacks didn't have a chance to display their greatest abilities. But that defense, making big plays, creating turnovers, winning the turnover battle, ended up being the key to success. And that was one of our main points as we went into pregame, is just saying, hey, if we can find a way to win the turnover battle, not give up plays over 25 yards, and excel in the kicking game like Carlos Villa did, being the leading scorer on the night, we can do some great things. And it felt great to see us finish games. Like that's the only difference. We played with great intensity last year as well in some games. We just made mistakes that caused us to not finish in the fashion that we did last week. And kudos to Coach Thompson. It's my first time acknowledging him individually. For me, I mean, for those that don't know, he's not a new guy. He's a former Renegade player. He's a person that shared the booth with us as a play caller over the last 7 – well, I mean, you've been here 4 years now. This is my 9th year in the booth as a media professional. And seeing Coach Thompson, he's been the brains behind the scene in a lot of ways for the defense. Now he finally gets his opportunity to be the guy.
That's right. Not to mention, we have a lot of expectation of this Bakersfield College program. And Coach Thompson is very even keel. We've had a chance to talk with him. He knows what it really takes to get this team to get to the next level by using a calm demeanor that you really haven't seen really since a Coach Bowser.
Right, and it's important in this day and age when kids grow up playing more Madden than they played football in the street, right? Like you're dealing with a different kid. But right now we're going to take a break for our national anthem. Through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watch, were so gallantly streaming. The bombs bursting in air. Say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Had to give the young lady singing so beautifully her own airspace. But as y'all see, I can back her up if she don't show up.
Alyssa's always great. She usually does 3 or 4 of our games here at home. Does always an excellent job, and an East High Blade as well, too. So, yeah, and that's what we've seen. Going back to what we seen last week from Bakersfield College is that, again, the defense was the one that really gave us that spark. Typically, when you see junior college teams, it's going to be that offensive spark that they're looking for. The defense says, you know what, we've got you. If you need that spark, we're going to get it. We're going to get that turnover, and we're going to give it right back to the offense and get that momentum going.
And the reason that happens is you got guys like Aiden Moreno leading the way with the team, team lead of 9 tackles. Mario Rivas Jr. had a great game. Logan Slayton, he's like a nephew based on the fact that his uncle, Jed Slayton, was my team captain as a driller, but he's one of those Frontier Titans that comes ready to pay big dividends.
Fresh off a state title.
I mean, and talk about, this is the beautiful thing about this roster as well. The amount of guys that we got to stay home that played at a championship level last year. We got about 5 or 6 Titans. We got the new 2-3 gang, baby, in Song Bay. He's going to be a nice addition to that secondary. He played very well in that nickel space last week. And, it's definitely a great thing to see kids have an opportunity to stay home and play in front of their parents, but not only just playing the game, but playing high-level football on a national stage. Because, I mean, hate to correct you guys, ladies and gentlemen, but Bakersfield College is a nationally accredited institution that has been known to do great things across the country. So when your kid is playing here and he's getting an opportunity, this is the national stage.
That's right. One of the things that I want to take a look, too, is that, and again, talking about how recognized they are, Renegades came into the season, preseason ranked 17. They've jumped up to the 14 spot. Allan Hancock with an impressive win last week against Orange Coast, who we're going to see a little bit later on. They are a conference foe. They're in the 17 spot today. And, the thing about these rankings is it's very early, but I was really surprised to not see Santa Ana at all getting a vote. And I thought Santa Ana was a pretty impressive team, especially with their quarterback last week, Bento, who was just a one-man gang.
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen for Santa Ana. They're going to surprise some of those teams that assume they're not that good. And if you're a Bakersfield College team that sees a team like Santa Ana not be ranked, you got to take that as an insult, because basically people are saying that you basically beat up on somebody that wasn't very good. But that is far from the truth, and that Santa Ana game was definitely a contest based on how well their defense was flying around and how much it took for our offense to come and overcome a late lead by Santa Ana. And I'm going to just be transparent, Rob. Our Renegade football team last week looked like a team that was trying to find itself in many ways. The only thing we didn't see that we would love to see, of course, is some baseball or basketball on grass, seeing the ball be thrown all over the place. But when you got a back like Jadaniel Bubba Nados,
right,
you don't have to do that.
No.
So, if we can win football games by just controlling the line of scrimmage and running the football, we're definitely going to do that. But you got guys like Chassa Ball that are ready to be possession receivers. As he called his 2-point conversion and the other couple third downs. Ben Spears, who's one of my former Mojo players that I used to go speak to the Golden Empire youth football teams, and he was one of the kids. I had a picture with him when he was a
That's
Mojo.
Awesome. Now you see.
Now he's out here doing it big.
Look at that. That's pretty awesome.
Oh, gotta love it.
You got to see it. We got to love also that we got Mayor Karen Go out on the field, going to be doing the coin toss as well out there. We got our man, the spotter extraordinaire, Jesse Sanchez, joining us as well.
Welcome
up
back,
here.
Jess.
We're going to talk a little bit about Allan Hancock before we take our last break before we get into the kickoff. But Allan Hancock scored 6 touchdowns last week. They had 5 on offense, 1 on an interception, and pick 6 to the house by Takai Aziz, 55 yards. And 5 other players for the Bulldogs had a chance to get in the end zone as well too. So what we have talked about with Hancock is typically they've got a lot of size, and they're usually able to kind of run it up the middle on you. But this team seems like it's the basketball on grass that you were talking about, a little bit different from an Allan Hancock team.
Right. I mean, and when you have a team like that, you expect him to try to come out and beat guys in one-on-one matchups. But I don't know if you're going to be able to do that against a defensive line led by guys like Miles Poole and the rest of the guys, because they're going to get after you if you're staying in that pocket. What gave the Renegades some problems last week was Bento being able to extend plays beyond the traditional drop backs that I'm saying in reference to drops. If you're a quarterback that's staying in the pocket, that's going to create big-time opportunities for that defensive line to get to you and touch you, and the defensive secondary to make the plays that they made last week. And I said touch you to be specific, because you don't always have to get the sack. Sometimes you just got to get there and touch a guy and let him know you there, and that starts to affect those pocket passers.
That's right. And so we're going to take a quick timeout. Looks like we've got somewhat of a scoreboard that's up there. They're getting that graphics all taken care of, so we're going to take a quick timeout before we get to the kickoff right here on Current News Talk, AM 1180, 96.1 FM, and live streaming on YouTube.
Life's better when you're a member of Valley Strong Credit Union. Because footing the bill's hard, but getting points makes it easy. And going to the pharmacy's a pain. But saving on your prescriptions is a relief. And unexpected bills are hard. But getting your paycheck direct deposited early makes it easier. When life moves, keeping up is easy with Valley Strong's new checking benefits. Life's better when you're a member of Valley Strong Credit Union. Because footing the bill's hard, but getting points makes it easy. And going to the pharmacy's a pain. But saving on your prescriptions is a relief. And unexpected bills are hard. But getting your paycheck direct deposited early makes it easier. When life moves, keeping up is easy with Valley Strong's new checking benefits. Life's better when you're a member of Valley Strong Credit Union. Because footing the bill's hard, but getting points makes it easy. And going to the pharmacy's a pain. But saving on your prescriptions is a relief. And unexpected bills are hard. But getting your paycheck direct deposited early makes it easier. When life moves, keeping up is easy with Valley Strong's new checking benefits.
And welcome back to the kickoff of Renegades football right here at Memorial Stadium. Rob Chavez and Kenny Calvin, as we see Carter Kolsar kicking off for the Renegades. Ball taken at the 10-yard line for the Bulldogs. That is number 8, Tay Armstrong Jr. Adrian Duran with the tackle out of bounds. And so the Bulldogs are going to start their first drive at the 28-yard line, 1st and 10. And good discipline on that kickoff right there.
Yeah, great job by Adrian Duran, squeezing him to the sideline. And right now we're going to get our first look at this Bulldog offense. A lot of history between the two schools. They come out in a spread set with 2 backs. Offset eye.
So you got a quarterback, number 10, Drake Missamore. He shuffles it off to Terrell Harley, the running back, 5'8", 170. Number 33, Drew Underwood, who is back off the injured list, which, by the way, again, we haven't gotten it confirmed with Gino, but it's the Luigi's injury report. Drew Underwood's off that.
Nice.
So is Jordan Berry.
Drew Underwood, son of my teammate, Bryce Underwood.
So no gain on the play, 2nd and 10 at the 28-yard line. Missamore, pump fakes, goes over the middle. His pass nearly intercepted. And the same guy that made that tackle in the last play, Drew Underwood, almost had a pick. It went through his hands, and I think it was just because his body was contorted in one particular way.
Yeah, but it's just a great technical drop underneath from curl to flat. Sometimes just playing your responsibilities puts you in a position to make plays. Brings up 3rd and 10, and the 3 and out will be lovely.
Especially against a team that had over 450 yards of total offense last week. So here we go, 3rd and 10 from the Bulldog 28-yard line. Missamore fakes the handoff, looks to his right. He's got pressure from the backside. He's flushed out of the pocket. Miles Poole has him. He's going to get the ball away before he could be sacked. But either way, here's that 3 and out for the Renegades defense.
And just like we talked about, we're not afraid of a quarterback who thinks he's going to stand in the pocket and beat us with his arm, because we got guys like Miles Poole. Hate to bring the crystal ball out so early, but in the first 3 plays, we told you what's going to happen. You're not going to beat a Renegade football team standing in the pocket against that defensive line, and Miles Poole made me right again.
So it looks like we got number 19, Tyson Scott, back there to punt. Actually, it's over the head.
Oh,
it's
yes.
in the end zone. We could have a safety right here, folks.
Boom! Come on.
That was so big that we got an echo now. Fantastic hit right there by number 9, Tyler Lewis. The sophomore comes out of absolutely nowhere.
Amazing, fortunate event for the Renegades, and we get our first boom on a safety.
Hey, I'll tell you what, for those of you guys who are listening, you get some pretty good return on a little bit of a wager as the first score being a safety.
Amazing job by that defense, creating an opportunity with the 3 and out, and it leads to points right away. That's the kind of year you want to have, or start for the year you want to have, I should say. But that's also the kind of year we want to have. We want safeties and 3 and outs all season.
So I think what happened was Kenny got so excited. He pulled the cord. That cord ended up pushing up one of the level buttons there on our mixer. And and that's what happened. Like I said, that hit from Tyler Lewis was so big, it brought an echo. That was probably the best boom in the 70 years of Memorial Stadium right there because of that echo.
I mean, but hey, impact plays, impact defense. You know we excited already.
That's right.
I mean, come on. snap over the head on the first drive.
Somebody's nervous, and it ain't the Renegades, I can tell you that.
Kicking off for the Bulldogs, number 94, Armand Bastani.
So here we go back deep to receive for the Renegades, number 21, Brock Wattenbarger, but his team, and that is going to be Wattenbarger that takes it. He's up to about the 42-yard line where he's going to get good field positioning for the first drive of the Renegades.
Another son of my former teammate. The Wattenbarger clan is definitely one of those families that's renegade through and through.
That's a staple name here in Bakersfield.
You know, I'm so excited for, you know, all the Kern County All-Stars, as we call them, to have an opportunity to get their shine on this stage. 1st and 10, shotgun spread set for the Renegades. And it looks like we got Woods at quarterback for the first series.
Nettles, the deep setback, Sabal in motion, gets set. Pass is going to be to Sabal the very first play. Sabal is going to make a nice move, is able to get about 4 yards, maybe call it 3. His first contact was actually behind the line of scrimmage. He finally gets it up to the 46-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 7 from the 46.
Quick rocket screen. That's the play that made guys like Cam Roberson famous. He's now coaching down the street for those East High Blades. But right now it's a 2nd and 7 for the Renegades. Shotgun spread set for Carson Woods. Welcome home.
So for those of you guys who haven't tuned into a game since a couple of years ago, you really haven't seen anything different as we got Nettles with a handoff. The ball, it looked like it came loose. And the Bulldogs are saying it's their football.
Number 31, Bubba Nettles on the carry.
Wow, Bubba Nettles with the fumble. Looks like he was going to be off to a great start with that 9-yard run.
And it looks like the Bulldogs do have it. So they had about it. He had exactly what you said about a 9-yard run, coughs it up at the 46. They recover it at the 45. So the thing that, you know, it finally took 5 quarters for the Renegades to have their first turnover after forcing 4 of their own last week in Santa Ana. But now this is where you get right back on defense and you batten down the hatches.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically like they just spotted us 2 points, because this is where they would have been if they hadn't punted the football on that last drive. But nonetheless, you hate to lose those turnovers. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs.
Missamore hands the ball off. It's number 7, Terrell Harley.
On the carry, number 7, Terrell Harley.
No, the Bulldogs offense didn't do a whole lot outside of the passing game, but traditionally they are a run team.
Harley out of Las Vegas High in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Gain of a yard.
I don't know where else there would be of Las Vegas High.
2nd down and 9 from the 46-yard line.
2nd and 9 after a pickup of 1. So again, the Renegades in 4 offensive plays have given up 1 yard. They got a safety, so they're up 2-0. Missamore's quick pass out into the flats is complete. And a quick.
That ball came out.
And it looks like, hold on, if he's down on the ground, it is going to be Renegade
Yes!
football.
That's what I'm talking about, because one thing that you got to do as a defense, when your offense turns it over, you got to create sudden change and get it back. Great job by those officials. There was no blown whistles, and the Renegades continued to play.
So number 33, Drew Underwood, picked up that fumble, but guess who poked it out?
Who's that?
Number 11, Richard Gooden.
Oh, my goodness.
Right now, an All-American in the first 5 quarters, if you're going to have one.
Wow. So that's his 3rd turnover of the season already. And little bro Underwood playing lights out.
No, how about the 4th turnover? Really, he got a fumble recovery and 2 picks. Now a forced fumble is we got Statler now in the game. Statler rolls to his right. He's got a man open. He's this tight end. Come out of the backfield. That's number 37, number 87, Dylan Fowler. He got upended right at about the 47-yard line. So a pickup of 3.
They actually had that fumble recovery last week attributed to Allen, if I'm not mistaken. I thought Gooden got that, but nonetheless, the kid's playing lights out.
Whether he has 3 or 4 turnovers, either way, he's Johnny on the spot right now. So we got a 2nd and 7 from the Renegade 47-yard line. Malachi Statler under center, or actually he's out of the shotgun. 11:40 to go in the first quarter, 2-0 Renegades. Ball's handed off to Jernigan. Jernigan off tackle,
Nice.
spins, is able to get past the 50. He's got a first down and more. He's up to about the 40-yard line. First down, Renegades.
I'll tell you what I like most about that run. He's continuing his feet on contact. Dead feet equals dead man. As he hits the hole and that back pulls, he kept his feet going and spun out of that amazing effort by Jernigan.
He has a different body style, but that was very much Marcus Allen-esque right there, where he's able to hit that hole but still keep his feet moving. 1st and 10 from the Bulldog 41 after about a 14-yard pickup right there for Jernigan. Jernigan, once again, he's going to run into a lot of Bulldogs on the wide side of the field. It's going to be a loss, maybe about a yard, back to the 42-yard line. And this is basically what we had heard from Coach Thompson. It's going to be a 2-quarterback offense here. So we're seeing who's going to get to roll. First series was Woods. Now we've got Statler.
And they're both very capable. The only thing that it really affects is cadence and rhythm sometimes. But right now it looks to be effective. 2nd and 11.
Got Spears split wide left, Sabal to the right. Nettles is going to get the swing pass out to his left. He's got a little bit of room up the sideline, and he's going to be close to a first down, forced out of bounds by number 0, Nashawn Corley.
And you know Bubba Nettles is itching to get back in there to make up for that fumble. He's one of the most accountable guys that you can have in a locker room, and that run is a result of that. 1st and 10 Renegades.
So it's about a 13-yard pickup and a first down for the Renegades, as you just said.
Renegade 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
So now Statler, ball's at the 29. He gives it up to Nettles. Nettles right up the middle. And I tell you what, he had a huge hole, but credit to number 42, Malo Eno, the D lineman, 6'3", 270, that was able to fill up that hole real quick. That could have been that could have actually went for 6, but he actually held him only to 3 yards.
Yeah, but if he didn't have 2 other guys with him, Bubba would have carried him another 4 yards. That was huge contact, and he did a great job filling that hole. But, again, the running back speeding his feet, gained those extra yards. 2nd and 7.
That tells you about the strength as well, too, of Nettles. Eno goes 270, and he's able to drive him back. 2nd and 8 from the 27-yard line. Fakes a handoff. Statler rolls out to his right, looking for an open receiver. Doesn't have anybody. And now he's going to throw it across the field. That is a dangerous decision right there. He's looking for Chad Sabal.
Yeah, and the reason why you don't want that is because right now where the ball is, you kind of have an opportunity for 4-down territory if you don't want to stress the leg of Villa. But you throwing it back inside like that, that's just a mistake that you don't need when you have an extra down to play with. Young mistake, but it's early in the season. You got to get that out of your system. 3rd and 8 for the Renegades. Offset eye with a spread pistol formation. 2 receivers to the right.
Statler with the draw to Jernigan. Up the middle, couple of shifty moves. He gets it up to the 22-yard line. Actually, let's call it the 23. Tackle made by number 5, Connor Wiles. And it's going to bring up a 4th and 5. 4-down territory right here?
Absolutely, and I love the call because you give yourself an opportunity. But even if it's not a 4-down, well, that is offense coming. Oh, okay, Villa's coming back out with Carson Woods, so that confused me a bit.
And with having Carson Woods, though, you do have the fake that's out there as well, too, as a possibility.
Hey, but you do want to give Villa an opportunity to make these kicks. These should be makeable college kicks.
40-yard attempt right here.
Yeah, follow the ball.
From the left hash. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up. And it is good.
Yes!
Carlos Villa with a 40-yard field goal. If you had him in fantasy football for your JUCO league, he'd have already 4 points right there for you. So that's going to bring the score 5-0. We're going to take a timeout here on Current News Talk AM 1180, 96.1 FM, and live streaming on YouTube.
Life's better when you're a member of Valley Strong Credit Union. Because footing the bill's hard, but getting points makes it easy. And going to the pharmacy's a pain. But saving on your prescriptions is a relief. And unexpected bills are hard. But getting your paycheck direct deposited early makes it easier. When life moves, keeping up is easy with Valley Strong's new checking benefits. Life's better when you're a member of Valley Strong Credit Union. Because footing the bill's hard, but getting points makes it easy. And going to the pharmacy's a pain. But saving on your prescriptions is a relief. And unexpected bills are hard.
So here we go. We're back with Renegades football action right here on Current News Talk AM 1180 and 96.1 FM. Live streaming on YouTube. The ball is going to be taken at the 11-yard line. Looks like that's number 8, Tay Armstrong. Armstrong almost had a seam up the middle, or up the sideline, excuse me. It's finally brought down by number 27, Logan Slayton.
You also had Adrian Duran there again for a second tackle on special teams. I'm keeping an eye out on the guys giving great effort on special teams kick coverage too, because
so
that's a difference maker. If you can get guys to stay on their end, protect field advantage.
And you were talking about how you like to give Carlos Villa a whole lot of confidence right there by kicking that 40-yarder.
Yes. Now you know you can do it again in 2 weeks.
So 5-0. This is not a baseball game here, guys. This is Renegades football against Allan Hancock.
Oh, yes.
Given off, and a great tackle by Miles Poole, number 46, as he brings down number 24, Kyle Williams.
Brought down by number 43.
Miles Poole is playing out of his mind, penetration by the whole defensive line, but he's just creeping from the backside, and that guy didn't have anywhere to go.
Also had number 43, James Moon, in on the pressure as well, too. James Moon has been a guy that has been on this roster now for this is his 3rd year. Had a medical red shirt a couple of years ago. Finally on the team last year. Had some more injuries, but now he's back for a full season. So it's good to see guys like him, Slayton and Poole, active on this roster. As Missamore looks up, he's going to take a shot. His pass is going to be
picked off,
intercepted.
Yes, sir.
By number 20, Nathaniel Wallace.
Yes, sir.
Wallace has got to be he's got to be over 4 or 5 career interceptions so far. Fantastic work right there for number 20, the guy who had to take place last year for D'Antonio Hackworth when he would go down.
Talk about the defense creating opportunities by creating big plays or nullifying big plays. Great technique, didn't panic, turned and put his shoulder into the receiver for the interception over the shoulder. First down, Renegade.
And you know what you see right there is a quick little play action pass. It was a quick trigger right there, as we got Carson Woods now out at quarterback. But Nathaniel Wallace must have actually seen that play in film, because he was not phased at all, as we got Watkins finally in from Athens, Georgia, picks up a yard.
Ooh, and we also got some pancakes being served for brunch right now as big number 60, Oliver Mamea, just pancaked that safety right there. He's still buckling his chin strap.
You got to love it when a guy's pancaking a safety 10 yards away from the ball.
Man, I made about 15 pancakes this morning, man. I would have saved some for this evening if I knew we was going to see guys like Nashawn Corley getting pancaked out here tonight.
So pickup of 2, 2nd and 8 from the 47-yard line. So ball in motion, gets set. Ball's handed off to Watkins once again. Watkins with enough speed to get to the outside. He's going to pick up about another 5 yards. Be wrestled down at the Bulldog 48-yard line. Brought down by number 5, Connor Wiles.
The Georgia boy, Corey Watkins Jr., 5'9", 200 pounds. He looks just like David Smith of last year. Saw David Smith say he's tuned in watching the game today, so shout out to the Deuce Deuce. You got to be special if you get that Deuce Deuce, too. 3rd and about 3 for the Renegades, and this is a situation where you definitely want to get this, because I don't know if you want to be going for it in the middle of the field. Trips right. Quarterback drops back. He throws it left, and that's going to be caught for first down yardage by Watkins.
Do we get it?
Amazing job by Watkins on that swing route. Results in the first down. Carson Woods right away took the snap and looked left. And that's a situation where it's just a one-on-one matchup between that back and that backer. And we're going to take that all day. Trips right for the Renegades against a 40-even front, 2-deep safety look. Now Woods goes again, and that's going to be caught inside, and that's a huge hit. But taken by Jack Kissinger. Shout out to my man Jack Kissinger.
On the stop, number 5, Connor Wild.
Huge catch, and that's going to result in another opportunity for the Renegades in that spot. The down marker isn't marked yet. It's going to be second and short. Trips left. Carson Woods in at quarterback. He's going to hand off inside the Nettles. The Nettles has room, and he's across the 35 or 25 down to the 20-yard line, still running hungry, and that's going to be first down for the Renegades.
On the stop, number 0, Nashawn Corley. And number 9, Takaya
4:48 to play in the first quarter. Renegades up 5-0. Looking to score
10 Renegades at the 21.
and create more points off turnovers.
All right, we're back. We just want to make sure we've got our stats as well, too. Thanks, Kenny, for getting us through on this. Nettles with the carry. Gets the ball up to about the 18-yard line. Tackle made by number 1, Dylan Heath.
One thing you like about this game is you got guys like Brady Phillips and the rest of the right side of this offensive line looking like they're feeling good early. They're getting about 3 yards a pop, Renegade Rob, and right now it's 2nd and 7. If you can do that with guys like Bubba Nettles, it's going to be an easy night.
And again, just taking what this defense is giving you. This is, you know, when it comes to Woods and Statler, I think they're just of the opinion, hey, when you need me, call my number. I'll throw a pass out there. But I've got all these guys in my running back room that are able to get, like you said, 3 to 4 yards every carry. 2nd and 7. Fake handoff. Woods looks over the
Oh,
middle,
it's going
and
to
the pass
be picked off.
And that's exactly what we were talking about. And number 11 comes up with that interception. Tackle made by Bubba Nettles, but throwing across this field, across his body, that ball was picked off, and we do have a penalty flag.
Number 11, Jacob Nelson.
Yeah, throwing across your body and also throwing when you got 3 underneath linebackers under the crossing routes. Probably not a good idea to do that, especially when it's 2nd down. It goes back to the point that I made in the previous drive is living to fight another fight, play another down. You know, you're trying to force a throw there on a 2nd down when you really could throw the ball away and kick another field goal and be 8 points up in a couple downs. You got to minimize turnovers when you're in scoring range. There's just no excuses for that.
After the interception, illegal blindside block.
So it's going to go against Hancock, illegal blindside block. I know I did see the helmet of Carson Woods fly off during that play. It's not necessarily advisable for one of your quarterbacks to try to go after a tackle, but that right there is probably a little bit of emotion and frustration on the part of Carson Woods. Knows he made a mistake and wants to make up for it.
Yeah, and when you've made those kind of mistakes, they're heightened when you're in the middle of a quarterback battle. You know, so I always talk about one of my keys to winning, being a 97 percentile guy, right? That's his one mistake that he can have to where coaches are like, all right, I understand what you think you saw. We'll give you another shot. But you make another throw like that, and then it's probably going to be a night where you're holding the clipboard more than the football.
Ball's handed off up the middle from the 9-yard line. It was number 7, Terrell Harley. Looks like number 96, Grayson Rogers. We call him Smiley around here. Is able to make that tackle after about a 2-yard pickup, so it'll bring up 2nd and 8.
I know. Oh, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to be able to make sure I shouted out our first responders there as I see the flashing lights. It is First Responders Appreciation Night as well, too.
And I was just going to highlight how beautiful this crowd looks as early it is right now. The Renegade faithful are coming in.
So Missamore from under center was able to get a quick out route to number 83, Elias Martinez.
Misamore's pass complete to number 83.
Brought down by Aiden Moreno and Nathaniel Wallace. Bulldogs get a first down on that play.
Moreno had a nice game last week.
Pickup of 11 on the play results in a first down.
You know, as far as receivers for Hancock, they had a guy that catch 5, and that was Ryder Scheid.
And Ryder Scheid, we haven't really called his name out. He's one of those guys from last week. He's a player of the game of such. So we got number 24 in on the carry. Last time he had the football, he fumbled it. That was Kyle Williams. Elijah McCullough with the tackle for the Renegades. No gain. 2nd and 10 from the 22.
And again, the Renegade defense isn't going to panic, but the unfortunate thing about turning footballs over, that's 2 for the Renegade offense, is we only have 5 points. And again, the offense still hasn't found that rhythm that we're accustomed to from the passing perspective. And one of the first things that's hard to find is rhythm when you have 2 quarterbacks.
Missamore drops back, and his pass is going to be incomplete. It was intended once again for Martinez.
And that happens because you had some fantastic coverage by Gooden along with Chase Furtado. They had that seam route bracketed, and it was just nowhere to go. It's more of a coverage incompletion.
We have a penalty flag out on the field, so sitting about the 19-yard line.
Typically where those big fellas is grabbing you.
Yep. Speaking of big fellas, they do got some size over there.
Oh, yeah, they like that Santa Maria tri-tip over there. My goodness.
As long as there's no mayo on it, it's okay for Dr. Julian Wilson. We got personal foul, unnecessary roughness penalty against Hancock, but it's still going to be a 2nd down because it was within the play. So backs it up half the distance to the goal to the 11-yard line, making it a 2nd and 21 from the 11.
Great job by the defense. One of the things my Hall of Fame coach, Rick Van Horn, talks about is hidden yardage every week. We're seeing some penalties affect Allan Hancock's offense. Turnovers if it affect ours, but penalties are affecting theirs.
I formation. Missamore under center. Fakes the handoff. He's getting pressured. Flushes out. Right in his pass. It's going to be picked off. You're right. Number 9, Tyler Lewis. Tyler Lewis had the safety earlier. Now he's got an interception. Tyler Lewis is jockeying in for that carpet outlet plus red carpet player of the game.
Somebody take that defense out to dinner, because right now they showing out. They want some of that Luigi's tri-tip. They don't want none of that Santa Maria. We need some of that Luigi's. but hey, again, amazing technique by Tyler Lewis, dropping from the curl to the flat. It's not a hard play if you're being disciplined, and he drops right underneath the route, catches it, and that's the 2nd interception by just being disciplined and playing your keys.
And should we be surprised that they're so disciplined? You got Tyler Thompson, Deron Mackey, and James McGill as your coaches? Probably not, as we get Woods right back in the game, hands it off up to Jernigan. Jernigan with a lot of power yards.
8 yards between the tackles, Renegade Rob. And, hey, you're forgetting the name down there because you got guys like big
Tyler Shelton.
Oh, Jeff Judy down there coaching up guys like Tyler Lewis, teaching them how to run that underneath coverage. But right now, that offensive line and that running back core led by Coach Chapman and Castro putting in work. Twins right.
So here we go, Jernigan. The lone setback. He's going to get the fake handoff. Woods looks into the end zone. His pass is going to be caught. Touchdown, Renegades. Ben Spears, but we do have a penalty flag, and it is going to be for a holding.
Wow, and it was right at the point of contact where that mesh point for the fake happened. And you're kind of trying to tell your guys, hey, don't hold them because it's a play action. You're not – most times you're holding the run block. You don't need to hold on pass blocking. You should be kind of pushing a guy a certain way and letting them go, because the quarterback is going to make the decision on whether he needs to get rid of it after your block is beaten. Nonetheless, that takes away a huge play by the Renegades.
So the 10-yard penalty brings it back to the 24-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 12. Man, the offense, just as soon as they start to get a little bit of momentum, they make that little mistake right there, and in this situation it was a hold.
Yeah, and those things happen early in the season. You hope to get them out in the first game. Some of them linger over into the second game. 2nd and 13.
Jernigan up the middle.
Still on his
feet. Breaks a couple of tackles. He's finally going to be brought down. He had to get piggybacked basically until he went down. He carried number 42, Malo Inu, and I'll tell you what, this is where those squats come into play, because you're carrying a guy for the second time that weighs 270 pounds.
I mean, and the ability for him to break that tackle by just continuing his feet shows the individual strength that he has, because the average running back is getting tackled in that point. That's great individual effort.
So gain of 5 on that play brings it up to the 19-yard line. Renegades got a 3rd and 7 here. This is a big opportunity for the Renegades to convert, keep this drive going. Otherwise, they got Carlos Villa ready.
Shotgun spread set. Looks like it's
So
going to be
ball
a
in motion,
oh.
and here we go. This is so. Again, we've seen that this was penalized 3 different occasions in the game against Santa Ana, and this is now the 4th time this season for that same illegal shift.
And that was an amazing play that was being dialed up right there. You had the receiver coming across. He's going to run that quick sprint out route. You're going to send a corner route to the S on the Renegades, and you're going to send a post route by the inside guy. That was the perfect play call right there.
So that basically takes away that gain for Jernigan earlier. So now it is 3rd and 12 from the 24-yard line. Woods rolls out, swings it out
Oh, yes.
to Jaheim Alexander.
Oh, yes.
Alexander,
Oh.
he's finally getting taken down from behind at the 16-yard line, and that is going to do it for this first quarter. And as we head into the second quarter, the Renegades are going to have it 4th and 5 from the 17-yard line, and we're going to switch spots on the field, start heading west as we will come back here on Current News Talk AM 1180, 96.1 FM, and live streaming on YouTube.
Think, can I get a better business loan rate?
Searching. Recipe for cake.
Business owners have questions.
I can answer your questions.
Valley Strong has solutions. Learn how our cash management services can support your business.
Think, can I get a better business loan rate?
Searching. Recipe for cake.
Business owners have questions.
I can answer your questions.
Valley Strong has solutions. Learn how our cash management services can support your business.
Think, can I get a better business loan rate?
Searching. Recipe for cake.
Business owners have questions.
I can answer your questions.
Valley Strong has solutions. Learn how our cash management services can support your business.
Think, can I get a better business loan rate?
Searching. Recipe for cake.
Business owners have questions.
I can answer your questions.
Valley Strong has solutions. Learn how our cash management service.
All right, and welcome back to Renegades football action here on Current News Talk AM 1180, 96.1 FM. And live streaming on YouTube as we have Carlos Villa out to attempt his second field goal of the day. Carson Woods setting up for what would be a 34-yard kick. Tyler Shelton is the snapper for the extra points, according to Coach Alvarez. From the left hash, Villa gets a hold, gets the kick up, and it is good.
Man, this boy on fire, man. I'm so proud of Carlos Villa.
But we do have a
But we
penalty
do got
flag.
a penalty. And if this is on them, this might be first down for the Renegades.
Going to be close if it is. Ball's at the 17. They have to get to the 12, so 5 yards.
But, hey, penalty or not, I'm so proud of Carlos Villa nailing these kicks. This kid was a person that came off the bench in relief duty last year and found himself, and now this is a guy that's building some confidence and working on a scholarship. Great job, Carlos Villa. Let's see what this penalty is. And it looked like the offense might be huddling up, partner.
Yeah, here we go. And this would be backbreaking for the Bulldogs. Wow.
Oh, yeah, that's first down. I saw that call earlier before I left as well.
And this is half the distance to the goal. So we're going to be down near about the 8-yard line. First and goal, Renegades.
I saw the exact same call in the Delaware-Colorado game where somebody just jumped. And really, you've been told that it's a rule. You cannot touch the center or even line up over them anymore. And now you see a penalty like that, it goes from a potential 8-0 game to now we have an opportunity to go up 12-0 if we can punch it in. But we got to punch it in. You can't take points off the board and then not score.
Protect those long snappers at all costs, Kenny.
I'm telling you, man, shout out to my long snappers. Long snappers need love, too.
That's right. So here we go. Statler now in the game. Gets it to Watkins. Watkins is going to be in the end zone for the touchdown.
Boom! Power play on the left-hand side. How about the left side of that offensive line? And Watkins, the Georgia boy, gets his first pay dirt for the Renegades.
7:06 boys making noise. As Kenny Calvin has already brought to us, and now we're going to get Carlos Villa out there to kick the extra point. And I'll tell you what, this is that momentum, once again, that momentum shift that the Renegades were looking for. So we got 14:52 remaining in the second quarter. Renegades have an opportunity to go up 12-0.
And those were the kind of sequences last year as Carlos Villa gets ready and booms it through that we were on the losing end of, right? Every time it was a bad break, it seemed like we got the worst end of it. This season, it seems like we're getting some of those nods, and we take advantage of that penalty and score right afterward. Touchdown, Renegades.
Once again, I want to remind everybody that we are brought to you today by Carpet Outlet Plus. It's Saturday. That means
every day's a sale day.
That means it is a sale day today. No one can beat them. No one can touch them. You won't find better prices. Shop and compare.
We don't care.
We don't care. Take a look out there. So, we're also brought to you by Valley Strong Credit Union, Barbich, Hooper, King, Dill, Hoffman, CSUB, Pepsi, Sully's, Executive Express Service, Hawken, Denton, Palmquist, and Luigi's. Kenny, have they shouted out any of your teams yet?
You know, I mean, right now I'm just so proud of this offense finding a way to get it done after that. I'm one of those old school coaches. I hate taking points off the board. So when we took that field goal off, I was like, man, we better get something out of this, man. And to be able to score on the first play, that was beautiful.
Not to mention, you notice Malachi Statler was in there, and then they brought Watkins in to be able to take it in for the touchdown, as we've got Carter Colsar from Tehachapi kicking off, and he's going to get that ball deep, taken at the 4-yard line by Armstrong. Armstrong past the 20, at the 25, and a big hit.
Whoa!
Number 27, Logan Slayton.
Oh, nephew, with the huge hit.
The state championship winning linebacker from Frontier High School. We had a chance to talk to Touchdown Tom Myers. On Saturdays, he's Touchdown Tom. On Friday nights, he's Titan Tom.
Yeah, Titan Tom. He had a nice post for his Frontier Titans, too, highlighting all of those guys. And that's why you do that, because you know they're going to make plays on Saturday. Logan Slayton was one of the best linebackers in the current high school district last year. I could have saw this guy on anybody's roster, and he came home, stayed home, I should say, with his Renegades. Got to love it. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs.
Ball handed off up the middle. That's number 7, Harley, for the Bulldogs. Picks up about 3 to the 28-yard line, bringing up 2nd and 7. Number 95 was in on that tackle. That is Xander Polito.
Xander Polito, one of my favorite interior linemen last year. Amazing energy and effort. That D-line was probably the highlight of our football team last year. Great to see him making plays early. 2nd and 6.
Another guy right there by Polito is number 91, Brody Herta. Brody Schmerda.
Brody Schmerda, Herta.
Missamore's pass is going to be knocked down. And exactly what you're taught to do right there on that defensive line is as soon as you see that quarterback drop back, put your hands up, Blaine Newdorf.
Absolutely. Defensive linemen, they're taught to establish contact. Once you have contact with them, you stretch those arms, look, and get those eyes up to the quarterback. You see him passing. Now the hands go up. Amazing defense. Man, these guys got some amazing coaches down there because everybody's playing great technique. 3rd and 7 right here, Rob. We can get this sequence to happen for us. This can turn into a beautiful opportunity.
Missamore, his pass is out into the flats. It's going to be complete, but it's not going to be enough for the first down. Looks like that was number 83, Elias Martinez. Athletic receiver out there, 6'3", 185. But the defense is going to hold. And I'll tell you what, for a team that had over 400 yards of total offense last week, the Bulldogs with just -7 yards so far up today. What a turnaround. I mean, as soon as you see this in the stat sheet, people have got to really think twice about how they rank this Renegades team.
Yes, they do.
Sabal is going to let this ball bounce. It's going to head out of bounds near about the 25-yard line where the Renegades are going to take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, I mean, and Rob, you make a great point because this is through the first quarter and this defense being played like that. And the offense hasn't really even played well. You know, so imagine what can happen when your offense finds a way to not turn the ball over. In addition to that kind of defense, we could be up double of what we are right now without those 2 turnovers. Nonetheless, 1st and 10 for the Renegades. Let's see if we can have an opportunity to have a nice sustained drive. Let's move some chains right now.
So
Shotgun spread set.
Last play, a nice punt, 45 yards for Jordan Orcutt. I wonder if the town of Orcutt is actually named after him out there near Santa Maria. So we got Statler in the game, hands it off to Jernigan. Jernigan's going to be wrapped up first, but he's going to drag a bunch of Bulldogs about 9, maybe even 10 yards. I think he's going to have enough for the first down.
Man, talk about some leadership up front. You got Big 62 and 52 leading the way. Tyler Shelton and Andres Alcaraz just moving the crowd like Eric B. and Rakim.
Fika Salatielu, 245 pounds, was just dragged by Ian Jernigan for 10 yards. 1st and 10, Renegades at the 34. Fake handoff, pass out to Bubba Nettles. Nettles out in the flat. He's going to break a couple tackles. He's near the 45-yard line, and he's got another Renegades first down.
He's just too strong for the first guy. I talk about that every week about young Bubba Nettles. You're not going to tackle him as the first guy. He's elusive enough to juke you, but he definitely wants to run you over.
Now, how do you like this? So we got Jernigan lined up as H-back, Nettles as a tail for Statler out of the shotgun.
I love it.
Now we've got Alexander in motion. Fakes the handoff.
Oh, you got him in.
Rolls to the right.
Ooh.
He wants him to come across. Statler is going to end up getting sacked. It looks like he wanted a different route from Alexander on that play, and he didn't break that off because as soon as he was running, Statler was through that left arm as in to make that cut, big man.
Yeah, and the pressure is what didn't allow that to happen because it looked like Alexander was running that skinny post. Malachi expected him to break it towards the sideline based on what the pressure's doing. Nonetheless, 2nd and 11. It looks like a Renegade is lined up off sides. Gets back just in time.
Alexander once again. Jernigan up the middle. Big yardage past the 50, and he's going to pick up about 7 yards to the Bulldog 49, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 4, brought down on the play by number 1, Dylon Heath. Don't call me Dylan.
Man, I'm going to say this because we talked about Bubba Nettles' ability to break tackles, but watching Jernigan run, he's carrying loads of people. When you see him out of his gear, he doesn't look like a big, strong guy, but the way he's running strong inside the tackles like none other. 3rd and 4.
Six carries for 38 yards, averaging 6.3 a pop. And Statler out of the shotgun. He's pressured. Ball is up in the air, and it is going to be picked off. And this one could be to the house as we got number 1, Dylon Heath, and he's going to go into the end zone for the touchdown. Statler's arm was deflected, and that ball was just a dead duck sitting up in the air. But I tell you what, it was actually tipped to Heath. One of his teammates was down there, didn't get a number on that. He actually was kind of being held by one of the Renegades because, again, when the ball is up in the air, it's live. He tipped it to Heath, and Heath was able to take it about 55 yards.
Yep, and that's an interception each for both quarterbacks. But on that one, you had Statler on a quick 3-step drop trying to get the ball out to the left side, and that was just a great timed blitz by that middle linebacker of Allan Hancock. And we've talked about the passion that they play with. They're not a team that's going to roll over at any time. You got to put these guys away with the 7 game.
10:46 remaining in the second quarter. We're going to take a quick timeout here on Kerr News Talk, AM 1180, 96.1 FM, and on YouTube, Bakersfield College Renegades.
Can I get a better business loan rate?
Searching. Recipe for cake.
Business owners have questions.
I can answer your questions.
Valley Strong has solutions. Learn how our cash management services can support your business.
Can I get a better business loan rate?
Searching. Recipe for cake.
Business owners have questions.
I can answer your questions.
Valley Strong has solutions. Learn how our cash management services can support your business.
As we come back for Renegades football action here at Memorial Stadium, the 70th anniversary of Bakersfield College Memorial Stadium. Rob Chavez alongside Kenny Calvin and our man Dr. Julian Wilson. We also got cameramen John and Percy up here, Jesse Sanchez as well, spotting us as we get a short kick taken at the 28, and it's going to be fair caught by number 30, Elijah Lucero. So again, the Renegades make that one mistake, second turnover of the game, and it cost them points.
Yeah, and some of them aren't your fault, right? And you don't want to beat guys up in a singular fashion. But again, it goes back to the point, as an offense, you have to protect the football. We weren't able to protect the quarterback in that sequence, and that led to a hit arm and a pick to the house. Got to find ways to minimize turnovers or it turns into an extreme issue. Right now, 10:45 left to play in the second quarter. Let's see if we can get some consistency.
Ball sitting at the 27-yard line. Call it the 28, 1st and 10. Statler hands it off to Watkins. Watkins gets it to the 31 for a gain of 4, 2nd and 6 now for the Renegades. And again, want to send our appreciation to all first responders out there. Thank you very much for serving our community. This is First Responders Appreciation. You guys were always going to be free to get in today, but because the Renegades, we're working on and negotiating with the ticket vendor here, so because we haven't gotten that set up quite yet, we decided to host the community for free today. So hopefully you guys all appreciated that.
They showed up. They showed out.
Absolutely they did. Good job to the community here. Statler fakes a handoff, rolls to his right. He's got a bootleg, and he's going to keep it. He's going to have enough for the first down. He's going to hit out of bounds, but now he's going to lower that. Now we're going to see if this is going to be – we're going to see exactly what this is. There's a penalty flag. He's a runner, and he lowers his shoulder. I mean, honestly, as just a football player, I don't know why that was even a flag anyway on either.
Well, hey, he was a yard out of bounds, and the defender continued to come. But I like what Malachi did. He protected himself. He said, if you want to act like you want to hit me late, I'm going to lower the boom. And he ran through two dudes right there.
Shout out to Choose Fitness for getting that guy in better shape. He said he spent all summer and spring in the weight room and being just his own workout partner. And so here we go. We're going to get a personal foul call against the Bulldogs for a late hit out of bounds. You called it. And we seen that on Friday night, last night, where Patrick Mahomes was headed out of bounds. And, you know, the defender was kind of like tiptoeing. He decided to lower his head and inflict some pain.
But I love the fact that Malachi said, well, hey, I'm going to get hit anyway. I might as well deliver the blow. Because if you go in there timid in that situation, that's how you get hurt. 1st and 10 Renegades.
That just sounds to me like Kenny's not a big fan of half-stepping.
Ain't no half-stepping.
So we got Watkins going to go up the middle from the 44-yard line after that 15-yard penalty. He's going to pick up about 2.5. Tackle made by number 5, Connor Wiles.
All right, big character building drive for the offense. You've had multiple turnovers. Let's get back to the simple way of putting offense or defenses to sleep, running the football. 2nd and 7.
Watkins once again, the deep back. Statler out of the shotgun. Got a motion man. It's Morse. Watkins with the carry. He's going to pick up about 4 more yards to the 38-yard line. That's going to set up about a 3rd and 4 from the 38, trying to get to the 34.
You love that wham trap play that we run because you guys like Carson Burkhead, 6'4", 315 pounds. These guys are trap blocking, and you don't want to be that defensive end when you see big 64 coming across on that wham. 3rd and 3 for the Renegades. Trips open set. And we're going to have a timeout here, Renegade Rob.
So that's going to give us an opportunity to take another timeout here on Current News Talk AM 1180, 96.1 FM, and live streaming on the Bakersfield College Athletics YouTube channel.
Life's better when you're a member of Valley Strong Credit Union. Because footing the bill's hard, but getting points makes it easy. And going to the pharmacy's a pain. But saving on your prescriptions is a relief. And unexpected bills are hard. But getting your paycheck direct deposited early makes it easier. When life moves, keeping up is easy with Valley Strong's new checking benefits. Life's better when you're a member of Valley Strong Credit Union. Because footing the bill's hard, but getting points makes it easy. And going to the pharmacy's a pain. But saving on your prescriptions is a relief. And unexpected bills are hard. But getting your paycheck...
All right, and we are back after the timeout. 8:35 remaining in the second quarter. Renegades with a 12-7 lead, and they are driving the balls at the Bulldogs' 38-yard line. 3rd and 4. Alexander, the motion man, but it looks like this is a busted play, and Statler's on his feet. He's going to get a line. Lowers the shoulder once again, and he's got a first down.
Second time we've seen Malachi Statler make these safeties regret trying to tackle him. He lowered the boom, but what happened, high snap, messed up the timing, and he had to take that himself. He stuck his foot up in the ground and got about 9 for the first down.
Titan Tom calls it an 11-yard gain to the 27-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Renegades. Woo! And again, you can't throw interceptions. You're going to put your foot in the ground and pick up 11. So we got Alexander once again out of the shotgun. Fakes the handoff, and Malachi's going to go down. Nice blitz right there by number 44. And I'll tell you, Mikey Gills just seen that same exact play, and he snuffed it out.
Yeah, and that's not on Statler. That's more on the coaching staff being out chest right there. That was a chest move right there. Because if you know you have a blitzing outside backer, you can't run a bootleg to that side. And that was just a great disguised defense.
Loss of 10 on that play. It'll bring up 2nd and 20.
Pistol ace formation for Statler.
Oh, got a
high snap.
But we've got a – this is fortunate right here. There's a false start or an illegal shift or an illegal motion, one of the three. Having a 5-yard penalty right there in that particular moment might actually be a good thing for the Renegades.
Yeah, because that was going to be about a 12-yard loss and a loss of down right there, and that's why you got the whole defense of the Bulldogs complaining there. But they blow the play dead. Fortunate for the Renegades, that loss ends up 5 instead of 12. But right now, partner, you got about 2nd and about 23 yards.
From the 41-yard line, Statler with 2 running backs in the back. That's Nettles and Jernigan standing at the logo. Fakes the handoff, gets it out.
Nice.
And the ball is loose.
My goodness.
That's Jernigan. He's going to try to fall on it, and he finally gets it back. I don't know if he actually possessed that ball. I thought that was going to be an incomplete pass, but they're going to call it a completed pass with a fumble going back to the 45. And this particular series right here is getting to be disastrous.
Yeah, and it chaps my hide because I said all I wanted was some consistency out of the offense, and that means even if you got to run it a few times to keep it simple, but we're doing some pass plays, we're doing some run plays, and we're getting caught off guard. That time he ran about 3 steps and then dropped the ball on his own, leading to another loss. So we got 3rd and forever here.
Ball setting at the Bulldog 45-yard line. Renegades have to get to the 17. Now we've got a penalty. And I'll tell you what, if this is going to be a delay of game, it's going to back them up to midfield. 3rd and 33.
I mean, and we've talked about quarterback change is affecting some consistency. That isn't an excuse for this drive because Statler's been out there the whole time. Got to find a way to be consistent. Consistently good, not consistently messing up offensively, because this is 3rd and about 35.
And one thing we haven't seen is the punting unit so far today for the Renegades. Now we got Statler looks up. His pass to Sabal is up, and it is broken up.
Pass intended for number 4, Chad Sable, falls incomplete.
Number 0, Nashawn Corley, was in on that coverage. So we're going to see the punt unit come out. We know that there was going to be a question as to who's going to be the punter today, whether Gratt was going to be the guy.
Gratt averaged about 34 last week. Didn't do too bad.
Something that Coach Alvarez was looking to improve on.
It'll be Gratt again. You know, on that last route, you had that corner route. You would have liked to seen that throw on the line, but they hung it up in the air, and that wind caught it. And now we got another stoppage in play, and it's going to be another delay of game.
No, this is going to be a substitution penalty.
Oh, substitution penalty?
Oh, no. It looked like he was signaling for substitution at first, the back judge. Now we got backing up another 5 yards.
And this is just unacceptable, you know, from an offensive standpoint, because you have a defense playing lights out, and we're sputtering here in the second quarter. The last 10 minutes has been very uncharacteristic of the Renegade offense. And another snap infraction penalty.
So let's see what this one's going to be.
So this is going to be a total of 15 yards off the line of scrimmage without a play being ran.
I think in the 4 years that we've been together, Kenny, I don't know if I've ever seen anything longer than 4th and 43. So here we go. Gratt standing at his own 25, gets it away, and that is not a very good punt. It's not even going to get to the original line of scrimmage at the beginning of the series, and thank goodness for number 95, Xander Polito, for being able to pick that up right at about the 39-yard line. So not a very good punt for Gratt. You might see Aronson come out and punt the next time, if there is going to be a next time.
I definitely hope there's no next time.
Yeah, you know, we love our punters, but we usually don't like to see them.
All right, 5:36 to play, and now you really got to tighten up and D up. This is a whole different game after controlling most of the first quarter.
Ball's given off to number 7, Harley.
Amazing tackle by Songbay. Ginyu.
You know you always see number 23 out there.
I mean, that's a number that just doesn't sit on the bench. You don't get that number if you sit
Goats
on the
wear
bench.
that number, right?
That's what I heard.
Here we go. So after a pickup of 1 for Harley, we've got a 2nd down and 9. And, you know, us up here, you know, we are concerned about what's happening on the offensive side of the ball, but when the Renegades have actually only given up 3 total yards today, make that now maybe 10 total yards, we're not too overly concerned.
Right. I mean, our offense has the ability to do some amazing things, but you can't do it if you don't have the football. We've turned it over a couple times. Definitely have to find a way to minimize turnovers. And for the defense, you just got to keep doing what you've been doing and minimize the big play.
So about a 7-yard pickup right there. It'll be 3rd and 2 from the 47-yard line.
Renegades with a 50 front. I like this because we're preparing for run. And that's what's coming. Oh, and they get outside.
Kyle Williams, he's brought down. Good tackle right there. That could have actually been for big yardage, but Songbay was out there able to get that tackle. Brings it up to the 49-yard line of the Renegades, and a 1st down for the Bulldogs. 4 minutes exactly remaining in this first half. And the Bulldogs, after being completely outgained in pretty much every opportunity in every phase of this football game, they got a chance to drive and take the lead in this game. So we got a pass out, and it's complete. Looks like that is number 3, Rolling Davis. And when you see that white jersey with a blue number 3 on the back, you got to think of a guy like Steve Wofford.
Shout out to 3. But right now, it's a scenario where we have to figure out a way to keep them at this yard mark and nothing more if you want to protect this lead going into the half. Twins left. I formation for the Bulldogs.
Ball handed off up the middle. It's going to be enough for the first down. The ball was given off to number 39, Elijah Little, 5'7", 170. They're able to pick up 2 yards to the Renegade 38-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. 3 minutes to play in this second quarter.
All right, so the Renegades have went with a 50 front due to the Hancock Bulldogs being primarily run. Be surprised if we don't see a pass play.
And there it was right out there to number 3, Rolling Davis. Davis gets it to about the 31-yard line.
And you notice what they're doing, partner. I couldn't even get it out my mouth fast enough. They're looking like they're in a heavy run formation, and they're throwing these hitches outside because they know the linebackers are walked in for run. It's going to be a challenge for these corners to make plays. 2nd and short.
And a guy I do not see on the sideline, hasn't been in the game so far today. Got to think this might be an injury. Is number 22, Ryder Sheed, is number 7 gets the handoff, and a great play. Nice pursuit right there. Terrell Harley was chased down.
We have a flag down as well on the 30-yard line, partner. That looked like it might be in the area of holding.
Leji McCullough was on that tackle. So if we get a holding penalty, that's going to be pretty big. Be able to stifle this drive so far. It's most productive drive for the Bulldogs offense so far tonight.
And you see what happens when you give a offense down on his luck some confidence.
Keeping them in the game.
You're keeping them in the game. You turn the football over. You're giving them extra opportunities when they really hadn't even done anything. But these guys, so dead ball, unnecessary roughness. So that's going to be loss of down as well.
That's the second time that they've been called for that kind of a penalty.
Oh, huge penalty.
That's 68 yards of penalties so far for the Bulldogs today. It's not really good. Renegades with 35 penalties of their own, 20 just in that last drive. Now we're going to have a timeout on the field to give us another opportunity. Nope. Do we have a timeout? Well, 2-minute warning, so we will take a timeout here as well on Current News Talk, AM 1180, 96.1 FM, and live streaming on YouTube. Go Gades.
Life's better when you're a member of Valley Strong Credit Union. Because footing the bill's hard, but getting points makes it easy. And going to the pharmacy's a pain. But saving on your prescriptions is a relief. And unexpected bills are hard. But getting your paycheck direct deposited early makes it easier. When life moves, keeping up is easy with Valley Strong's new checking benefits. Life's better when you're a member of Valley Strong Credit Union. Because footing the bill's hard, but getting points makes it easy. And going to the pharmacy's a pain. But saving on your prescriptions is a relief. And unexpected bills are hard. But getting your paycheck direct deposited early makes it easier. When life moves, keeping up is easy with Valley Strong's new checking benefits.
And we are back here at the Palace on Panorama, the 70th anniversary of Bakersfield College Memorial Stadium. Rob Chavez alongside Kenny Calvin on Current News Talk, AM 1180 and 96.1 FM. We're also live streaming on the Go Gades Athletics page or channel on YouTube, as we've got 3rd and long for the Bulldogs, and it's just a hitch pass out to number 24, Kyle Williams. And I'll tell you what, for as good of a drive as that was for the Bulldogs, that's a real questionable call right there, as the tackle was made by number 5, Thomas Struck.
That's the tough thing about putting your offense in the position to be at 4th and 25. You don't have a whole lot of plays in the playbook for 4th and 25, so you have to resort to screen and draw. Luckily for us, the defense holds, and we get another opportunity with 120 plus remaining.
Chats the ball right at about the 10-yard line, just like Coach Van Horn teaches it. He's going to take it at the 11. Makes one move, makes another one, and he's brought down, and that is a big hit right there.
Huge hit.
The guy that we were just talking about, Ryder Sheed, who had a lot of yardage last week, was able to make that big hit, and they're checking to see if Sabal is actually good. He's a little shaky coming off the field right now.
Yeah, but Sabal's tough. He's ready. You know, and another beautiful sunset on the side where the sun sets on the 70th anniversary of Memorial Stadium. Right now, we got to figure out a way to try to be aggressive without making any mistakes, because you don't want to get the ball right back. But you definitely want to try to extend this 12-7 lead with 1:10 left to play. 2-minute offense for the Renegades.
Carson Woods in the game, out of the shotgun with Alexander in motion. Hands the ball off to Jernigan. Jernigan off tackle to the right side, and he gets out of bounds, stops the clock with 1 minute and 4 seconds remaining after a pickup of about 5 yards.
And right here, you're going to run the football because you're saying, hey, if we can get the first down with us running the football and get out of bounds, maybe we can have some clock to play with. But right now, that clock is continuing to chop, and it's 2nd and 6 for the Renegades.
Woods once again out of the shotgun with Nettles and Jernigan in the backfield. Hands the ball off to Jernigan once again, up the middle. He's going to be brought down at about the 26-yard line. Looks like we're going to get a timeout whistle for a loose helmet. And welcome back to halftime coverage of Bakersfield College Renegades football right here on Current News Talk, AM 1180, 96.1 FM, and live streaming on the Go Gades Athletics YouTube channel. Rob Chavez alongside the Hall of Famer Kenny Calvin. It is the 70th anniversary of Bakersfield College Memorial Stadium, as well as the home opener, 70 years of college football right here at Memorial Stadium, and also First Responders Night. So shout out and a salute to all of our first responders for keeping us safe, keeping us healthy, and serving our community as well as you can imagine it. We are brought to you by Carpet Outlet Plus, Valley Strong Credit Union, Barbich, Hooper, King, Dill, Hoffman, CSUB, Pepsi, Sully's, Executive Express Service, Hawking Denton Palmquist, and Luigi's. So, Kenny, we are at halftime. 12-7 is the score. And I tell you, the Renegades and Bulldogs are essentially playing two different types of games, yet it is very close. 161 yards of total offense for the Renegades to 20, but the Bulldogs are only down 5 going into halftime.
And you know how that happens. You're turning the ball over on your own end of the field, and that's why they don't have a whole lot of offensive yards, but they have points. We have to win the turnover battle, or we put ourselves in difficult positions. We started off the game with 2 takeaways on the defense, and we were all juiced like we were probably about to get out of here early with a running clock, right? But a couple of turnovers from the offensive end, and now we're right back in a one-score game at 12-7. You have to win the turnover battle. We always talk about that, Renegade Rob. It's one of the first points we always talk about every week.
Yeah, Renegades are trying to be as balanced as they can, trying to go with that 2 quarterback option like you've seen. But, there's a lot of positives to the competition. A lot to be made of having a couple of different quarterbacks that are very mobile, that are very smart. But the one thing that you've talked about in the past is that it does not necessarily always bode well for consistency, for rhythm, for timing, that sort of thing. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing here, as both receivers have an interception apiece. Statler, 4 of 7 for 23 yards. Woods, 4 of 5 for 18 yards.
Yeah, and that's the toughest thing for the quarterbacks. And when we say that, we're not down in any certain quarterback, right? We're just stating the facts that quarterbacks play better when they have rhythm and consistency with the offense. Even the cadence in the way that they call plays, when they say down, set, blue 52, that sounds different coming from different people. And the offensive line usually has issues with that, right? So what did we see on that offensive drive? We saw some false starts. Then with the punt unit, we saw multiple false starts and movement. We lost 15 yards on a situation where we were in punt, and the punt team was on the field, and we lost 5 yards, 3 straight plays. You can't do that if you want to put teams away, especially a team that's beat you once in the last 3 years.
The good positive on that offensive side, though, too, is we have that 3-headed monster in Jernigan, Nettles, and Watkins. Jernigan with 9 carries, 53 yards, averaging 6 yards a pop. So is Nettles, 6.2 a pop, 5 carries, 31 yards. And Corey Watkins with that 1 lone touchdown, 6 carries for 25 yards. Each and every one of them are averaging over 4 yards a carry. And really, when you take a look at it, we're averaging right at about 5.5. So the thing is that as we move into the second half, we really hope that the Renegades are really running it to set up that open pass.
Yeah, I mean, because it makes the offense a lot easier. It gives guys like Nettles and Jernigan an opportunity to show their true strengths. I'm very impressed with Watkins and how he's came in the game and played so far. He has the lone touchdown, right, on that power play. We have the safety and we have the field goal, but he has the lone touchdown, and it goes to show you that Coach Castro, Coach Chapman, Coach Dean, Coach Paul, Coach Dameron, all of these offensive guys don't care who the guy is that gets the play or gets to play, is that you're making plays when you get the opportunity. And so kudos to Watkins, the kid from Georgia.
And also the Renegades with 3 turnovers in the first half as well, too. A couple of interceptions as well as a fumble recovery. Richard Gooden, who had the two turnovers last game, adds a third for this game. And he's really standing out. That's one thing that we can really, really, really look at when it comes to this Renegades football team and say for the last 4 years we've been together, this Renegades defense keeps us in football games, and they really look dominant, only giving up 20 yards of total offense.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful experience to see that happening. Right now, as we come back in the second half, we're going to get the football, right?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we'll get the football. So it gives the offense, who is right now in the locker room talking about all the mistakes they made, a chance to come out and extend this lead. Because if you don't, now we're playing a hungry team that we've gave a false sense of hope. Like, this team doesn't have any offensive production at all. And we're in a game right now. We should be up at least 2 touchdowns right now. So hopefully that first drive of the second half, we get results.
Do want to thank everybody for joining us here in person as well, too. You're probably not listening to this as of now, but this is a fantastic turnout. Free admission to today's game, and I'll tell you what, the weather couldn't have cooperated anymore. Not only did Allan Hancock come in from the coast, but they brought a little bit of that nice fall breeze with them as well, too. It's kind of cooled down a little bit, blowing a little bit of that smoke out that we had a little bit earlier on this week out of here, and a nice little break from the heat that we've had early this week as well, too. So we're going to take a quick time out here, come back, and we're going to talk a little bit more about Renegades athletics here so far this year as we bring you live action here from Kern News Talk AM 1180, 96.1 FM, and live streaming on the YouTube channel, Go Gades. All right, welcome back to Renegades halftime action
From that AC.
here from beautiful Bakersfield College Memorial Stadium, the 70th anniversary of this venue. Rob Chavez alongside Kenny Calvin. Number 23, the Hall of Famer. Wanted to review a couple of things here from earlier this week in Renegades athletics. One of the nice things I've seen, I like when I get a chance to see first of all, Penelope Zepeda Congratulations.
First career win.
First career win, following up the legend, Carl Ferreira, for ladies volleyball. They got their first win. And check this out. Women's soccer grabbed their first ever win over Santa Barbara City College in program history.
Wow.
They made team history on Tuesday, earning a 2-0 victory over Santa Barbara City College at the BC Soccer Field. Win marks the first time in program history for the Renegades to have defeated the Vaqueros, securing a landmark moment for the team and the program. Kaylee Broom got a shot in the 3rd minute. 3 minutes in, boom, there you go. And that was an assist from the goalkeeper, Addison Evans. So that's pretty impressive to be able to get it down. And then also got another score in the 28th minute to seal the deal against the Vaqueros. So congratulations to ladies soccer for picking up that historic win. And, of course, you couldn't just get a ladies win over the Vaqueros, but the men's also got a win over Santa Barbara City as well, too. It was their first win of the season. 2-0 win over Santa Barbara as well. They are 1-1-1 overall. Alejandro Alvarez with his first goal of the season in the 47th minute. He's a freshman. And then we also got another goal from Andrew Orozco as well, too. So defensively, goalkeeper Aiden Zamora recorded 2 saves while Bakersfield controlled the pace throughout, outshooting Santa Barbara 7-2. They also had Desert yesterday. And we're going to take a look to see how they did against Desert. They had a 3-2 win, so fantastic job for the Bakersfield College men's soccer program. And yesterday, not only did Penelope Zepeda get their win earlier in the week, but she got another win over East LA. Anytime you get a win over ELAC, it's pretty good, right?
Absolutely. Historic program. We love beating them.
But the ladies lost earlier today. They were here in the RAC. They lost to Cypress College 3-1. And last but certainly not least, we got men's cross country. Maybe one of the most competitive programs that we've had over the last 15 years. They got first place to start their season. The Renegade cross country team.
State champs last year, right?
Went to Santa Maria for their first meet of the season at the Bulldog Invitational on August 29th at Las Flores Ranch. The men's team finished first overall. Highest men's finisher was freshman Edgar Gill, who placed second overall, running a 22:50, while teammate Alexis Aguilar took fourth with a time of 23:18. So fantastic job to Renegades Athletics right here at Bakersfield College. We're going to take another quick timeout on Kern News Talk AM 1180 and 96.1 FM. Go Gades on YouTube as well. And we are back here at Bakersfield College for the 70th anniversary of Bakersfield College Memorial Stadium. Rob Chavez alongside the Hall of Famer Kenny Calvin, as well as our director Julie Newelson. Shout out to our man Steve Nicholas from the Early Bird Special, holding down the fort,
giving us an opportunity to get that Renegade word out in the middle of the week. Definitely honored to have great teammates like that.
All right, Kenny, so we went over a little bit about the first half. Keys to the game for the second half.
Keys to the game for the second half, again, the offense has to find a rhythm. I hate to overuse the word, but you can see the lack of rhythm and consistency on the offensive end. The defense has played huge, inspiring ball to this point, creating turnovers. But we have to find a way to get them some rest and have some consistent drives. I want to see consistent chain-moving drives. Can we move the chain 5 times in a drive?
And that could mean that we will see the same quarterback in for a couple of consecutive series. So here we go. Kickoff is underway. And the Renegades are going to get the kick to open up. And probably the reason why Coach Thompson decided to sit on the ball towards the end of the first half. The ball is going to be taken at the 22-yard line. Very short return, maybe up about 5 yards. I think that was Christian Morse that took it, number 39.
Huge hit. And that was a late flag, and it might be a face mask penalty at the end of that. As you have the back judge throwing the flag right at about the 31-yard line. He saw something late there, and we'll see what that is. If you're Allan Hancock, during the halftime speech, you probably said, hey, we're in this game and we've played like crap. Now we'll see what this penalty is going to be.
No, a blindside block. So this is going to be against the Renegades. So 15 yards. Excuse me, this should be actually half the distance to the goal. I don't know why this is going to be 15 yards.
Oh, shout out to Brian Landis, our head official, who's usually in the booth with these officials. Officials been doing a solid job today. We want to also remind all of those couch potato dads and all those people that yell at the officials at these games for the Kern High School District and Golden Empire Youth Football Leagues to go and volunteer. Sign up. Some of you actually get paid. Join the ranks of some officials. All right, 1st and 10 Renegades. Carson Woods drops back, has a man, and that's going to be a pass, and it's going to be caught.
30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Renegades.
Boom! Skinny post, Carson Woods with the 3-step drop. Great protection. Is that what we said we needed if we want to run that 3-step drop? Fires it, caught by Dylan Johnson. Touchdown.
87 yards. And I tell you what, consistency or, hey, let's just open up the playbook and go for and try to take a shot in the first play of the second half.
Right. They say, hey, Coach Cal, watch this. We don't need 5 plays. Hey, if you want to do it in one play, go ahead, guys. But I'm just saying, consistently do it then. Do it next drive, one play. Touchdown again.
Dylan Johnson from yet another section championship football team in the Bakersfield Christian Eagles. Shout out to Coach Carr and company.
Former Renegade. A lot of people don't know that Coach Darren Carr was one of those Renegades on that team with James McGill and all those ballers.
Yes, he was. And he's got
linebacker gets taken out. And as the corner, you're the last leg. And if you don't make that tackle, that's a 35-yard run. Gooden comes up and makes that tackle, 6'1", 200 pounds. He's a player. He's a player.
He's playing just for fun. He's out there once again on Gooden Island. Almost the same exact play right
and
there.
Gooden makes the tackle again.
Harley. Gooden comes in. And we also had number 43, James Moon, who's played also another impressive game as well.
Very impressed by Moon. We saw Moon get injured last year. and had to be disciplined and patient to get his chance to come back. I love seeing guys that have the mental fortitude to find their way back to the football field after you had a year off. It's one of the hardest things you can do. The only reason I know is I had to do it myself once before. 3rd and short.
Couple of 4-yard gains brings it 3rd and 2 from the Bulldog 47. Good press up front.
Great penetration.
And we seen that right at the snap. The Renegades had 3 guys in the backfield already, including James Moon.
Great penetration by that defensive line. Blew it up. They tried to go ISO right between the A-gaps, and that was nothing doing. Punt team.
We seen it from Mario Rivas last week, and we're seeing it again. Number 58.
Wow.
6 foot, 280 pounds, Mario Rivas.
That's how you win football. Back that thing up.
We're back to the 42-yard line.
I mean, hey, we were lucky enough to see Juvenile come through town and do the concert with Lil Wayne. Had a chance to spend some time with him at the I Me Pa afterward. And I said, hey, man, I used to coach at LSU. Where y'all had us crunk. Y'all got to look that up. Y'all know what crunk means. It's a southern term.
Shout out to my son RJ and Micah heading down as well. They joined us up here on the Dameron deck, as well as my daughter Paulina, who was my radio partner last night for the Garces.
Oh,
for the Garces
so
game.
classic. You just gave me goosebumps with that, man.
Garces won 35-9 over Bishop Union as we get a punt away from Hancock, and
nice punt.
Chad Sabal lets that ball die at about the 11-yard line. And tell you what, the last time the Renegades had it there, they opened it up for an 87-yard touchdown up the seam.
But, hey, see what happens when you're able to get something going on offense? Now your defense is playing with some extra juice and energy because they finally saw you do something. They come out and get the 3 and out. You're right back out there, and now you can stretch this game out. 19-7, it's 12:31 to go in this third quarter. We feel like we've been out here like 10 minutes in this third quarter already. Only a couple minutes has gone by. So a lot of football left to play. Got to continue to execute offensively. 1st and 10.
Statler in the game now. Statler swings it out. It's caught by number 15, Amarius Rowell.
Shout out to Amarius Rowell. We had another famous Rowell a few years ago.
Lots of
Darian Rowell.
Yeah.
You know, the Rowell family. It's my guy, Andre Rowell. He knows how to make some receivers. You want a receiver, send your girlfriend Andre Rowell.
And we also had a guy over at East High, played on that state championship team, Rowell, as well.
Yeah, that was Sam Rowell that you
Sam
guys
Rowell.
had. That was
Sam Rowell.
my boy Sam. He played with me at Compton.
There goes Jernigan. Jernigan, I tell you what, he's the big Journey, but, man, he looks like he could be Joystick Jernigan as well.
Absolutely. I mean, what's funny about
– first down, Renegades.
What's funny about you bringing up those old blades and the father of Rowell, his father, Andre Rowell, was a wide receiver for the Blades as well. But now the legacy of seeing them have their opportunity now as Renegades is a beautiful thing. 1st down.
Ball spot at the 24, gives to Jernigan. Jernigan off tackle, and I tell you what, you just give him the ball, he's going to get 6, and he picks up 6 right there.
I swear, every time
Watkins,
he gets –
actually.
that was Watkins. No matter who it is, whether it's Jernigan, Watkins, or Nettles, they are not being tackled by the first guy, and sometimes not the second guy. It's taking 2 to 3 guys to get these guys down, and you got to love that if you're Coach Chapman in that backfield office. 2nd and 4, shotgun spread set. Statler scrambling.
Looks up, and his pass is going to be, incomplete. It was off the hands of number 87, Dylan Fowler. That would have been a first down for the Renegades. Instead, it's going to be 3rd and 4 from the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Fowler was open. Ball was a little bit far. And he saw that defender coming as well. Would have been a tough catch. Nonetheless, 3rd and 4.
So Burkhead, the center, gets it to Statler out of the shotgun, who gives it off to Watkins. Watkins off tackle. He's going to get brought down at about the 31-yard line. It looks like the punt team is going to be coming out. We're going to see who the punter is going to be in this situation. It looks like we're going to – no, is Grat going to be out there? It looks like Grat is right back out there.
Kudos to that defensive front of the Bulldogs not giving up.
Excuse me, no, that's Ethan Aronson.
All right, so we got Ethan Aronson sighting for the first time. 6 foot, 190-pound freshman.
Out of Liberty High. Gets it off, barely. Good, spiraling.
Beautiful punt.
At the 27 is
wow.
taken. And I'll tell you what, Chase Grad out of Taft, that 34-yard average might not necessarily hold up when you got Ethan Aronson booming it like that.
Yeah, because that's 43 yards from the line of scrimmage. Right there, you add 15 more to that from where he punted that from. That's a 60-yarder. So he boomed that one. Oh, look like we got a punter competition too, along with the quarterbacks, guys. Hey, yeah. I love it. Anybody can get it. You got to be willing to work out here, and that's the kind of locker room you want. Everybody's ready to play. Everybody's ready to step up. 1st and 10, Allan Hancock.
Mr. Moore with a man.
Oh, high snap!
They're going to fall on it. And we were waiting to see if that was going to come out. Drew Underwood is going to get called for an unnecessary roughness penalty.
Yeah, you had a situation where, you know, the back falls on a high snap fumble. It's basically on the ground already. You got a highly energized defender coming in.
Yeah, just unfortunate right there. So it's going to be – we're going to see if that's going to be the result.
That's personal
in the
foul.
Down.
Unnecessary roughness. Defense number 33.
And that's one of those plays where you hate to fault a guy who's flying. His job is to fly. And you telling him to clip his wings as the ball is on the ground. It's hard to slow down in that moment. You don't get mad at players for energy plays and energy penalties. That's an energy penalty. All right, 1st and 10. That's going to be a 3-yard run.
Looks like that was possibly a number 12, it looked like at the beginning. Let's see who that is. No name for number 12 on that roster. We're going to check to see if the backup roster here that we got has that. Pickup of about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6 from the 36. Looks like we have number 12, Dominic Soros, out of St. Joe's High in Santa Maria. They're a top 25 school in the section as we get a pass out from Missa Moore to number 16, Tommy Vibable. Tackle made by number 20, Nathaniel Wallace, is going to be good enough for the Bulldog first down to the 45. And now you're starting to see that this offense is kind of getting a little bit of momentum after that unnecessary roughness penalty.
And they're full of capable guys. Like that route that receiver ran just wobbled that corner up top. He was nowhere near defending that. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Great play in the backfield.
It's number 58, Mario Rivas.
Amazing play by the blitzing backer and Rivas. And those are the kind of plays that you need to have after you had penalties. It's coming.
Yeah, 2-yard loss. And Mario Rivas out of Long Beach Poly High.
Shout out to the LBC for sending us some of these guys. See what happened when you beat Long Beach a couple times in a year? They start sending their boys up north.
Can't beat them, join them. 2nd and 12 from the 43. Just over 8 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Missa Moore's pass is incomplete. That
was close to a lateral,
close to being a lateral.
Very close to a lateral, partner.
Richard Gooden in the area.
And you love what you're seeing out of the defense because nobody's getting behind you. Everything is happening in front of you. They're not even challenging you to throw the ball down the field because you've covered everything, and the pressure of the defensive line has been too immense. So finding a way to get off the field right now is very key. And again, get a hand on something. Get a hand on the quarterback. You don't have to get the sack, but you can get a pressure.
One guy that you're going to see right there as a slot receiver is number 22 for the Bulldogs, who had a really good game last week, 46-yard touchdown catch. Again, another pass out in the flats to number 16, Tommy Vibable. And it's going to be a 4th down after only about a pickup of 2 yards. And here comes punt unit for the Bulldogs. Good job for this Renegades defense. Bulldogs are starting to show a little bit of momentum.
Yep. And if you're a Bulldog fan and you're frustrated, you're saying, why do we keep throwing these screenplays? You don't have time to do much else. The defensive front 7 of the Renegades is getting in the backfield every time.
Good punt once again. We're going to check to see what Sabal is going to do. Sabal is going to let it go out of bounds at the 18-yard line.
So Renegade Rob, 70th anniversary of the stadium. You know, we talked about the beautiful moments and memories that we've had. You know, earlier I was reflecting and had a chance to look at some of the Renegade Hall of Fame book, and there's some amazing history in there. You know, I'll try to touch on some of those.
Yeah,
things.
while you're taking a look at that, I can tell you this, man. While I'm sitting up here, and I can just think back to the games in which I played here at East High, and just how many people were in the stands, and I get to see all these old videos that the Kern High Network has put up. As a pass is going to be incomplete, a little too deep right there, but he had a man in the seam, number 15, Amarius Rull.
All right, so listen to this memory. Sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
We got a lot of great Renegades, and this is for our 1955 Renegades. October 8th, 1955. Renegades wallop Santa Monica 34-6 as Jim Riley scores 2 touchdowns in front of 12,000 fans at Memorial Stadium.
And that was almost capacity right there, because it used to be only about 14,000 people that could be in this stadium until they retrofitted it and added the upper decks. So we got a 2nd down and 10. Ball is given off to number 31, Bubba Nettles. Bubba's going to have almost enough for the 1st down. They're waving those sticks to go. 1st down, Renegades.
I got another great one. The Foothill Trojan faithful are going to love this one. November 3rd, 1956, BC Blast Harbor, 45-0. Before 9,000 fans, Gene Fitzgerald rushes for 144 yards, and a stocky young fullback by the name of Ned Permenter intercepts a pass and returns it 54 yards for a touchdown.
Shout out, Coach Permenter.
Shout out, Coach Permenter.
One of the absolute legends of Bakersfield football is we've got Bubba Nettles rushing it up to about the 35-yard line. He's going to pick up 7. Again, you give these guys the ball, they're going to get 6 or 7 yards.
Absolutely. That power over the left side has been paying dividends. And I'm just loving the way that Jernigan's running the football tonight, along with Nettles as well. Like, so strong, but every time the first defender gets there, they're running through those arm tackles. 2nd and short for the Renegades. Trips open set.
It's amazing to hear old Ned Permenter. He's next-door neighbors to my Uncle Gilbert over there on Princeton, not too far away from the stadium. As we got Statler's pass is going to be deep, and that's going to be nearly intercepted. Number 4, Jaden Vasquez, the defensive back for the Bulldogs, got a hand on it. He was looking.
He had 2 men open, too. Rao was open again, but he ran into coverage, and Statler ended up going to the opposite side into double coverage, but he had 2 receivers open. Nonetheless, it's going to be 3rd and short. We got to get this conversion right here if you want to put this game away.
So far, the Renegades 3 of 8 from 3rd down. We got
good timeout.
Before the snap. That is definitely going to be a good timeout. So we'll take a timeout here as well on Kern News Talk, AM 1180, 96.1 FM. And live streaming on YouTube, 5:58 remaining in the 3rd quarter, 19-7 Renegades. All right, we are back from Bakersfield College Memorial Stadium, 70th anniversary. Rob Chavez and Kenny Calvin, 19-7 Renegades, 3rd and 3 out of the timeout. Statler gets pressured. He gets the ball out, and that pass is going to be – oh, nearly caught. It was off the hands of Fowler, and that was number 14.
Oh, that's our guy.
Ryan Simmons.
Ryan Simmons finally gets in.
Oh, man, our man from Florida.
You know, so a little history. During the scrimmage, we were walking the sideline, and we saw Richard Simmons. He was kind of down because he wasn't in the game getting reps, and we said, hey, man, your time's going to come. You just got to be ready. 10 seconds later, they called him. He went in and, you know, had a positive play. But right there, he almost had a game-breaking play on a tipped catch.
So now we get Aronson out there to punt. Gets it away. Low punt. And a great bounce for the Renegades. Not too sure if he touched it, but the Renegade was trying to get the Bulldog returner to touch that ball. That's an
amazing punt.
That's an old technique right there. That's we got an injured Renegade down on the field near the 30-yard line. That's an old Rick Van Horn trick right there. Hey, you get down there, you got a guy that's, you know, tootling around. Hey, push that guy right into the football. You might get it. Number 65, Trevor Jano, one of the offensive linemen, 5'10", 175. I'll tell you what, Trevor Jano is a special teams maven out there and one of the funnier guys that was on the sideline during the scrimmage, just joking around. I had a chance to go up to him, tapped him on the shoulder, and he goes, oh, man, trying to flatter me. Yeah, like I've been in the gym. Don't hurt me. And I said, Jano, come on.
But, hey, one of the things that I love about this season for us is we've attended more practice this year than we have in our careers together, of course. But it just feels good to actually get to know some of the players a little bit better than we have in the past. Right now we got a 1st and 10 for Hancock.
Down 19-7 are the Bulldogs, and they're back deep into their own territory. They only get up about a couple of yards, so it'll bring up a 2nd and 8. That was Harley once again. And again, this Renegades defense, they pretty much had their way with this offense here. Minus a couple of drives here and there that weren't too bad. Again, the Renegades have only given up 32 total net yards.
That's how you win games and establish dominance. Right now, you got them on your end. You want to make sure you keep them down here. Twins right, I formation for the Bulldogs. Great penetration by the Renegades. And that's going to be a huge play in the backfield by a host of defenders.
But number 26, Keelan Fanning, was the first one into the backfield on a blitz. Number 55 was on that tackle. Brian, don't call me Chris Hawley. He goes by Chris in the program, but Brian, when you're talking to him, he's off the injured list as well, too.
Keelan Fanning is who they credited with that fumble recovery last week that we thought Gooden had, and he's been a ball hawk, so it's great to see that. But as you hear the dooms coming in, it's 3rd and 9. We about to undertake some stuff.
It looks like we've got a timeout. It's going to be timeout Bulldogs. Giving out another opportunity to talk a little bit about Memorial Stadium. What I was saying is, and God rest his soul, Carl Meyer, the great voice of Renegades athletics for several decades here before he relinquished the microphone a couple of years before his passing. And, Touchdown Tom is now at the helm. But just that you heard that voice when you played up here. Carl Meyer was just the man. And when you heard that voice and when you're down on the field, you knew you made it, at least here in Bakersfield, when you heard your name getting called by Carl.
Right. I mean, one of the things I discussed earlier was I can take it back to being an elementary school track guy.
Yep.
This is the first time I ever competed in the stadium. I was a Bessillon's track team member, and we got 3rd place in the 4x1. I was so proud to hold up my I can't even remember what white ribbon. It It wasn't blue. It wasn't red. It was the white one. But those moments and hearing your name and your school be recognized over this loudspeaker, you was like, man, I can get used to this, man. Like, this is such a beautiful place. And you kind of undervalue that back in those times. And as the years go by, we're lucky enough to see it and reflect on it every week.
Oh, that's awesome. We got Missamore out of the shotgun, 3rd and 9. Still got time. Finally flushed out of the pocket. He looks up. He's got a man over at about the 33 and a great catch right there. And that was Ryder Sheed, who had a really good game last week. And this is the first time he's targeted Sheed.
And also the first time he's been able to extend the play like Bento did last week so well against us. Missamore is a guy, he doesn't want to run around. But as we can see from that last play, he definitely is capable of extending the play with his feet. Got to keep him inside, contained, to avoid those plays. Nonetheless, 1st and 10.
21-yard pickup for the Bulldogs. Now the ball spotted at the 34. Missamore out of the shotgun. Quick release.
Woo.
And that pass is incomplete.
Very dangerous.
Yeah, in the coverage area was number 5, Thomas Struck.
Yeah, they ran a kind of a short something deep on that left side as the safety and Aiden Moreno. You got to make sure that you don't fly up too quick, because the next thing you're going to see is them pump it to that outside guy and throw that ball to that guy in the seam route that's running right by you. So you got to stay disciplined if you're Aiden.
And that's
ball's on the ground.
Uh-oh.
Ball's out.
Looks like the Bulldogs got it back right around the line of scrimmage, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and 10.
Woo!
Number 33.
Disaster averted.
Yeah, number 33, Drew Underwood, in on that tackle.
Man, Drew Underwood has been flying around. So proud of him. His dad was one of my older linebackers. I played under him. But just a guy that was so intense. You know, shout out to the Underwood family. But to see young Underwood out here making a name for himself today, so proud of how he's flying around.
Up-tempo offense right here. Missamore's pass is going to be nearly intercepted. Aiden Moreno had an opportunity at that. But again, Johnny on the spot, Aiden Moreno.
But again, too, Renegade Rob, they tried exactly what we talked about. You keep flying up on those short routes, they're going to try to run that wheel route right behind you. Aiden was ready.
Aiden, former quarterback, he knows when you see those quarterbacks' eyes, you're going to read them. He telegraphed that pass and nearly had it intercepted.
Shout out to his mom, Christine. She been on us, too. She been trying to make sure we got everything right online.
Yes, she has.
She making sure we got our ads going. Shout out to the Renegade moms.
Here we go.
Oh, we got it! We got it! We got the block. Great job on the block. And guess who it is?
Number 8. Chase Furtado, your
Chase
man.
Furtado.
Don't call me Nelly.
Come on. Chase Furtado, son of my driller classmate, Amy Boston Furtado. We talked about his ability to fly around. He takes advantage off the edge. And that's one of those scenarios, too, where he came unblocked. There wasn't even an up back that really even challenged to put a hand on him, and Chase Furtado gets the block punt. Great job by the defense. That counts as another turnover.
And not only is he, Johnny on the spot, he's Mr. Personality as well, too.
Oh,
we
yeah.
talked about Trevor Jano. Chase Furtado, everybody loves him. Carson Woods back in the game. Gets the ball out to our man from Florida, number 14, Ryan Simmons.
Ryan Simmons.
Don't call me Richard.
We talked about Simmons being ready for his name or his opportunity when his name is called. He finally gets an opportunity in the second half. Great play on the hitch in the first down catch. That's his first reception as a Renegade.
Congratulations, young Ryan Simmons from Booker High School in Sarasota, Florida. Ball handed off to Watkins. Watkins tried to make an extra move, but was brought down at the line of scrimmage by Dylon Heath.
Yeah, and Watkins has got to make sure that he's securing that ball in traffic. As he went through, you can see guys trying to swipe out at it. You got to cover that ball with two hands in traffic. Very fortunate. 2nd and 9 for the Renegades. 1:26 remaining to play in the third quarter with a 19-7 lead.
And thanks for giving that update, too, because we We're hit and miss a little bit on current News Talk AM 1180 and 96.1 FM, but we're finally back on the broadcast. We got Jernigan with the wheel route. Woods with the screen pass attempt to Watkins went incomplete with 1:10 remaining, 3rd and 9 from the 34.
Amazing job by the defense of the Bulldogs, because number 42, Malo Eno, did a fantastic job of sniffing that out as a running back. And one of the things I want to do is give kudos to one of our fearless leaders, and Annalicia up here joining us in the booth. Definitely appreciate you and all the things you do for us to be able to have this opportunity. Right now we got a trips open set, 3rd and 9, Rob.
Here we go. Woods under pressure, flips the ball up. He's got a wide open man, and he's in for the touchdown. Touchdown, Renegades.
Boom! Safety bit on that fake, and that was just an amazing job. And I think that was our guy, Dylan Johnson, making an amazing play, but he was all by himself as that safety had his eyes in the backfield, and it just let him run right by him. He did exactly what I said Aiden Moreno better not do, as you keep looking at that short route. You keep looking at that short outside route and not your keys. You let a guy run right by you. Touchdown, Renegades.
Dylan Johnson with his second TD reception of the day as Carlos Villa bangs the extra point in, and good. Bring the score 26-7. Renegades 103 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and right now Dylan Johnson is in the driver's seat for the Carpet Outlet Plus Red Carpet Player of the Game.
Wow, amazing pass. As you know, we saw that pass be overthrown earlier in the game. That was just an amazing play call. Let's give credit where credit is due.
Safety, yeah, totally bit. And again, like you said, bit on that fake. And why would you bite on that fake? 3rd and 9. Mr. DB coach, Mr. Hall of Fame DB right here in the flesh.
Man,
what are you doing?
And that's one of the things we talk about in the secondary and when we're teaching guys is situational awareness.
That's right.
You have to understand what the offense is thinking about doing. It's 3rd and 9. They're probably not going to run anything shorter than the sticks. You have to be conscious that they're coming after you. They weren't. Touchdown, Renegades.
Carter Colsar kicking it off, going to be taken by Armstrong at the 4. Armstrong had some pretty good returns so far, but not on that one. Good coverage.
Come on.
It's Mr. Stay in your lane, Elijah Lucero.
Oh, Elijah Lucero looking like he wants the special teams player of the game this week. He battling it out right now. Amazing effort. And I'm telling you, I've been so juiced on our kickoff coverage team.
13-yard return was it.
I don't think the last 3 have made it past the 25-yard line.
No. And again, it's because you stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Kind of like Julian Wilson tells me when it comes to condiments. Stay in your lane.
Shotgun spread set.
1st and 10.
Low snap.
Get the ball handed off to Harley. Harley's going to get brought down again by Underwood. Don't call me Blair. Shout out to Blair Underwood.
That's my frat brother.
He couldn't have made a bad movie in the 90s and 2000s.
Hey, I got a frat brother named Blair Underwood. I got a teammate named Bryce Underwood, and a nephew.
There we go.
The next Underwood, Drew.
So pick up a 5, 2nd and 5 from the 22. Quick pass. It is complete. Nice catch out there by number 3, Rolling Davis. Out in coverage, number 26, Keelan Fanning. And I tell you what, when I see that 26 out there, I think of David Stevenson.
Oh, yeah. But, hey, Songbae Ginyu right there played that underneath outside nickel technique so well that if that ball was thrown any shorter, that's a pick to the house by number 2-3.
Looks like with no time remaining, that'll be it for the 3rd quarter. The Renegades are going into the 4th. 26-7 lead right here on Current News Talk AM 1180, 96.1 FM, and on the YouTube channel. Go Gades. All right, and welcome back. Big 3rd and 1 for the Bulldogs. They're going to hand it off. Good penetration, but they're going to have enough for the first down. So the Bulldogs offense is going to be able to stay on the field. Kyle Williams, not the same Kyle Williams that fumbled the football in 2012 for the 49ers against the Giants in the NFC Championship. I know you remember that.
Yes, I do.
Up in the old Candlestick. They had to bulldoze that stadium after that fumble. The glory days of the New York Giants. Now I just had to suffer. 1st and 10, Bulldogs at the 28-yard line. No, pass is incomplete.
Loving the coverage on the outside. Thank you very much, Annalise,
Look at that.
for our new media press passes.
All sports media pass.
You know, I get emotional for the little things. I have every single press pass since I joined the media department in 2016.
And this is number 4 for me. So I like the one. I especially like the one that I've kept that's in my classroom with George Culver flipping the coin at midfield. Take the ball. New running back in there. Looks like this number 39, Elijah Little. He's had, I want to say, one other carry earlier today for a yard. Picks up about 5 on that. So it's going to be 3rd and 5.
One thing you love about this Renegade defense is no matter the formation or the personnel of the offense, it seems like we're keeping everything in front of us. I don't recall the last time I saw a pass go deeper than 15 yards based on what we're doing up front. 3rd and 6. It's going to be a pass play. Scrambling outside. He's going to have some room. He's not going to make it.
And
he's going to be short.
He lowered the boom, but number 29, Carson Steen, came up and laid a wallop on him.
Carson Steen. And Elijah McCullough, 6'3", 240-pound defensive end. And right now, this is 4th quarter, but you still don't want to give a football back to a hot offense on your end of the field. So a good, stable decision by Hancock to bring their punt unit out, but I'm still expecting fake right here.
Yeah, could be. 13:02 remaining in the game, and they're down 3 scores. Low snap was able to be picked up in a very bad punt. I think that was just nervousness right there. The ball is going to get a fortunate bounce for the Bulldogs out at the 29. He escaped disaster right there because that was a terrible punt. Jordan Orchid was able to get it about, let's call it 29 yards. And the ball is down at the 29-yard line, 1st and 10 Renegades. So, again, we were talking about all these historic moments. I've seen a couple of concerts here as well, too.
Nice.
You remember, and again, we might be dating ourselves, but I'm sure there's some people listening. KKXX, 105.3.
105.3.
KKXX. They had a concert here, had about 20 artists back in the early 90s. It was amazing. It was awesome. So,
Chats a ball.
Here we go.
Oh, nice.
Pick up about 6.
Quick rocket screen to Sabal. And he was one tackle away from taking that thing 60 to 70 yards. Great pursuit by the defenders of Allan Hancock. Tackle on the play made by number 15, T.J. Chandler. But
anybody listening, if you knew a DJ for KKXX back in the early 90s, let me know a name because, man, I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember any of the DJs' names.
You know what's funny? Eric and Nick,
that's right.
Back
the
there.
Vidals.
Yeah, but right now we got some running backs, and that looks like my man Brenton Brown getting his first carry. And that's an amazing carry.
From
Drillerland. My little bro finally getting his carry.
And a first down for the Renegades.
And you love the intensity. You see how he got that ball, and he had to make something out of nothing. Ends up going out over the left side on that power play. And that's the individual effort of Brenton Brown. And I told you how special this kid is. First
He's number
carry.
5 on the depth chart. And for him to be able to break off a run right there of over 10 yards, that's amazing right there. 13-yard gain for the Driller. Now we've got Woods again out of the shotgun. Rolls to his right. His pass is going to be incomplete. intended for Jaheim Alexander, but I'll tell you what, he had a man all over his back in Dylon Heath.
Dylon. Amazing coverage outside by number 1, the defensive back.
Dylon.
I mean, but if you're putting that ball there, you know, it's where only your guy can get it, and you're throwing it low. Unfortunate for the Renegades, you can't come up with that reception. 2nd and 10.
Ball at the Renegade 49. 11:25 left in this game. 26-7 Renegades with the lead. Fumbled snap, and Woods is just going to fall down in it. Very smart play right there.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that you talk about, hey, here's your opportunity. You're getting back in. You got to take advantage of these reps and snaps. You only get so many, and we're dropping snaps. Got to find a way to find the consistency again, because when you have that quarterback change, you don't want to appear to be the reason that you're having the mishaps. But 3rd and 16, as Brent Brown goes back to the sideline.
Ball sitting at the 43-yard line. We had a couple of those number 2s come out of the game for some number 1s. We got Woods with the draw to Jernigan. Jernigan, again, just driving his feet and is able to get it up to midfield, back to the original line of scrimmage. So we're going to have a 4th and 10, and here comes Aronson in the kicking unit.
Let's get a look at Jernigan's yard per carry right now, because one thing I'm seeing out of him, he's got to be averaging upward of 5 yards a carry, because he's taking guys and right at that 5.8 yards a carry. Yeah. And I mean, I'm just from a photographic memory standpoint, I haven't seen him be tackled by the first guy yet.
No, not at all. Again, because he's just a gym rat. And the Aronson with a great spiraling kick, going to be taken at the 15-yard line. So a 36-yard punt, and it flips the field back over to Hancock, and Hancock's going to need to put something up on the board here in this next drive, or this might be all there is to it.
Well, when you have a defense playing as well as ours, you're not afraid to punt the football. And, again, I'm going to go back to the first half. If we're able to find a way to not turn the ball over, we're possibly looking at a 0 on the scoreboard from the opponent and 2 more touchdowns on our end. So you're really not afraid of what they present offensively.
No, this defense has pitched a shutout so far today. The only touchdown was on a pick 6 that was floated up in the air, and a fantastic job by number 91, Brody Schmurda.
Brody Schmurda. We calling him Brody Schmurda. His name is Brody Herda, but we gave him the nickname of Brody Schmurda, like Bobby Schmurda, because he's been doing an amazing job on the interior. And he puts us in position to create some more pressure on this 2nd and long.
So before the end of this year, Kenny, we're going to have to get him to know his nickname so he can do a sack dance, the Bobby Schmurda.
Got you.
Missimore out of the shotgun is able to get his pass off, and a great tackle right there.
Gotta love how the Renegades are flying around, sending 11 hats to the ball. He made 2 defenders miss.
But Carson Steen didn't miss.
Wow. Steen comes in and lays the wood.
And I'll tell you what, shout out to Coach Mackey. You know, he brought one of his old Mustangs over here. He's out of Stockdale High School, and he's out there playing the cornerback position, defending number 3, Rolling Davis, who's had a pretty good day today.
Yeah, I know the Mustangs wish they had everybody back.
Yeah, little struggle this year. So you get the pass out in the flats.
Great play by
fantastic play. That looks like that's number 9, Tyler Lewis.
Tyler Lewis fights off the block from the receiver as they try to run the bubble screen and just blows it up in the backfield. Great job by Tyler Lewis. And it's going to result in another punt. This defense is playing lights out.
And with 8 minutes to play, I'll tell you, again, we've got our favorite right now in Dylan Johnson as being the red carpet player of the game. But this Renegades defense, you could give them all player of the game right now.
Yeah, this defense has definitely showed up.
Low snap.
Oh, and another one.
Oh, man, and this isn't going to even get past the first down marker.
1 yard.
Go down for
punt.
a 2-yard punt. Wow, good job. All 3 phases of the game playing well. And I'll tell you what, it could be argued that the offense might be the number 3 phase so far today.
Hey, special teams has been showing out on every facet of the game. But right now, it's being led by the defense. As an offense, you want to come out and go ahead and start putting this away because it's still a lot of football left to be played. Yeah. You can't take the pedal off the metal. We used to 50 pieces. I have a memory of us beating Compton 77-7 my freshman year. It was the last game of the season.
Watkins picks up about 8, maybe 9. Up to about the 18, 77-7.
Yes, I'll read it for you. Wait, my bad. The big story, or it says Compton was overmatched from the start, losing to the Gate 75-7 before some 4,000 fans in our last game of the regular season. George Jones had 6 touchdowns to get the national record for touchdowns that night.
Wow. We got Ian Jernigan going right up the middle. And tell you what, there's the first time you've seen him taken down by the first tackler right there.
Yep.
But 75-7.
75-7. Let me try to see if I can read that whole parable. It says, and perhaps his last season at the helm in 1994, Coach Bowser gets his Gades to an 8-1 start going into their final Western Conference game against Compton, who was 3-5-1 at the time.
Oof.
We beat them 75-7.
3-5-1. When they left the game, they were 3-7-1. That should have been counted as 2 losses. We got Statler under center, gives the ball to Jernigan. Jernigan right up the middle. He gets closer to his average and a first down at the 12-yard line. 1st and 10 Renegades are looking to try to put this away with 6 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the game.
Another fun fact for that game, Greg Kerr put a microphone on Coach Bowser for the entire Gades game. Bowser was going out in style for that last regular season game, we had him mic'd up.
Shout out to the Dean of Local Sports,
man,
Greg Kerr.
Honored to be on Greg Kerr's show as we go with the ISO.
Right up the middle, Ian Jernigan once again picks up 5 yards to the 7-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 5. Yeah, Greg's been incredibly gracious to us over the off season, during the season. Again, the guy is he's been carrying the torch for local sports for so many years, and
so grateful for you.
Yeah, we always want to give him a shout out just for covering local sports. He's been here for several different generations of Bakersfield athletics.
40 years.
This is the 39th year of hometown sports this year. So tune in tomorrow. They're going to have some Bakersfield College highlights after the high school game highlights. As Nettles is going to take the ball, maybe gets about a yard up to the 6, so it'll bring up 3rd and 4 from the 6-yard line.
You know, with 5 minutes left to play, Renegade Rob, you know, one of the beautiful things that we can say about this game is how well the officials have performed this game. I told y'all a few years ago I went to therapy so I can learn how to get along better with the officials, and you see how I'm loving them up now?
You had your woo-saw moment.
Yeah, I had to spend a whole summer at a coach's clinic that teaches us not to get on officials, man, and now I'm loving these guys, man. These guys out here showing out. Shout out to Brian Landis and the officials out there putting in work. We have a timeout on the field. Gives us an opportunity to talk about some of the things that are coming up this season that we haven't talked about is Hall of Fame.
That's right, October 9th. Get your tickets. We've got some distinguished guests that are going to be there, but we're going to be inducting some absolute legends. We got Malachi Statler, and as you pull up those legends of Bakersfield College, we have Statler out of the shotgun with Nettles in motion. Ball's handed off to Jernigan. Jernigan up the middle. He's in the end zone for the touchdown.
Boom! Renegades go to power on the left side, and Jernigan finally hits pay dirt for his first Renegade touchdown at home. Great job by that offensive line. And now we're up to 32 points, and this is how you stretch it out on a team that you're supposed to beat. Defense playing dominant football, offense finding itself in the second half.
I don't know if Julian remembers this, but I know Kenny and I do. When old Chick Hearn used to put these games in the refrigerator. The door's closed, the lights are out, the eggs are cool, the butter's getting hard, and the Jell-O is jiggling. Yeah, the mayonnaise is in the it's on
Carlos
the door.
Villa.
It's on the door of the fridge as Carlos Villa knocks in another extra point. Carlos Villa, the special teams maven. So let's go ahead and talk about this class of 2025 BC Hall of Fame.
All right, so October 9th, Thursday at Luigi's. You got to go to Go Gaze to get your tickets. Tables are still available if I'm not mistaken. But let's talk about the roster. You got the 1978 men's basketball team, the state championship men's basketball team, starring my Uncle Dean Jones and my late Uncle Manuel Calvin and a lot of other greats from that team. They're going to be honored. You got the legend Jan Stubbe. He was my athletic director, but he's
was
also
my athletic director as well.
Right, but he's also a Renegade great, former coach.
Former quarterback.
He's going in. Sandy Bowers is going in. The legend Rick Van Horn. Coach Van Horn was the player of the year when he was a Renegade and ended up going to UNLV and playing with guys like Randall Cunningham. Ask about him.
And was also an all-conference baseball player playing shortstop as well in 1981.
Wow. So Gloria Friedman's going in. Tyrone Crawford, the former Cowboy in Boise State, guys going in. Sean Barker, MLB baseball is going in. And Brandon Speedy Banks, my former player, fastest player I ever coached, is going in. And I was just talking about Brandon Banks on our 2007 team. He caught a ball for 94 yards one day, and it was the fastest 94 yards I ever seen.
Speaking of 94 yards, we had a 94-yarder earlier today from Dylan Johnson, or an 87-yarder from Dylan Johnson. Last night there was a 94-yard touchdown for excuse me, I'll have to look it up. For Garces last night. Impressive game for them over Bishop. But, yes, fantastic class. This is an impressive class that's going in.
Man, you got NFL, MLB, world class.
As you get the pass off to Rolling Davis. Number 29, Carson Steen in on that tackle. Good job to Carson Steen getting in there and making the most of his opportunity.
So, Renegade, Rob, looks like we're going to win this game. We're up 33-7 with 4:19 to play. But you know what I'm most excited about? Some of the guys that were getting back off injury after this game. We got more weapons coming in.
Pass out in the flat to number 16, Tommy Vibable. Yeah, and a couple of those, or one of them, is Walker Mino. He's clubbed up, and he's looking to make a return here pretty soon.
Linebacker from Taft. He's been named as one of the most ferocious people in a Renegade jersey. When we asked the offense during the scrimmage, who's the guy that you don't want hitting you? They were like, oh, Walker Mino.
Oh, Mino.
Yeah. Walker Mino. So can't wait to get him back.
Great open field tackle right there.
Because if we look at our defense and the defensive stats from today, and you adding a guy like that to a defense that's already playing well, it's about to be smoke in the city. And I ain't talking about the smoke from that fire by y'all house the other day.
The Palladino fire. Again, shout out to the first responders. Bakersfield Fire, Kern County Fire, Cal Fire got out there.
Yep.
They were able to contain them.
Shout out to my teammate, Eamon Sullivan, fireman, former Renegade, and Renegade dad.
Yeah, that's right. And not on that particular fire, as we get a penalty before the snap. Not on that particular fire, but he's been out in Santa Maria. Your former teammate as well, too, Eric Coffrin.
My captain. That's my team captain.
Battalion chief, former San Jose Spartan. His daughter, Eden Coffrin, the water polo phenomenon. At Garces, was down at USC for a visit today.
Big time, man. So big time seeing all of our kids be stars. But it's in their blood, though. I mean, we gave it to them.
We just exposed it. We were talking about this, last time, if I were to know my kids when I was a kid,
I would have thought they was rich.
They were fortunate at least. As we get Missamore flushed out of the pocket, his pass is incomplete, nearly intercepted. And look at that. Carson Steen has been all over the place down there.
All over the place.
This reminds me of last year when there was an opportunity to get the twos in there, and Chase Furtado was the guy that was Johnny on the spot everywhere. So hopefully we're going to be seeing more things out of Carson Steen. And, maybe we're going to have to do some driller research here, but I noticed we had a number 81 by the name of Sean Mackey Jr. Is this Sean Mackey from Bakersfield?
That is a Mackey family member.
He's from Henderson.
Yep. That is little Mackey.
So we'll talk about how I know Sean as we get a pass out to the flat to number 16, Tommy Vibable, with 2.5 to go.
And as we near the 2-minute mark, we talked about the 70th anniversary of the stadium and the things that happened 100 years ago, right? Now we're reaching the 100-year mark and talking about the legacies of Bakersfield College athletics. That's one of the most beautiful things to me. For me, I'm a legacy kid based on my uncle, right? My uncle was a legendary player here. I had a chance to carry on that tradition. Then my younger cousin, his son, Daniel Calvin, ended up being an all-state guy and, earned a
K-State
scholarship to go there. But
shout out DeCal.
Yeah, the joy that I have in watching guys like Underwood today. Your dad's outside in the parking lot. I know him. He was my captain, one of them. And now he gets to watch his son 30-plus years later than we had the opportunity to do it right here in the same jersey. You don't think that's a goosebump moment? Come on. Wattenbarger, all of these guys, Tyler Lewis, all of these kids that have a chance to play in these jerseys. And, seeing all the state championship kids from Frontier and the Liberty teams and some of our drillers that played deep into the playoffs last year come and be part of this team is just so beautiful.
And, again, if any of you guys are listening out there, you guys know some high school football players that do want to go and play at the next level. They don't want to stop after their senior year. If they're not necessarily getting any offers, any looks or anything like that, bring them over here. Bakersfield College, some of the best coaching you're going to get around. I was just having this conversation a little bit earlier regarding one of the reigning MVP, the NFL MVP, Josh Allen, out of Firebaugh High School. Had one college offer, and it was for an NAIA school. So he decided to go to Reedley College. Played at Reedley, broke records over there. He only had one full offer, and that was from Wyoming. He took it.
Yeah, the time of staying at home and wishing USC and Michigan's going to knock on your door is very slim. You got to recall, I played with 7 NFL guys on my high school team, right? You got to think that if guys like that aren't getting USC in these big schools to come to the house, well, Larry had John Robinson come to the house.
Yes, he did.
But
how you doing, Larry?
Most of your opportunities to get to that star status next level are going to come by playing in a huge program that's going to support your educational goals and your athletic goals. Bakersfield College is one of the best systems for 100 years.
Yes.
In doing that. We just talked about our Hall of Fame class this year. We got 2 to 3 pro guys that decided to come here from other places. We got guys coming from Canada to come to play at Bakersfield College and get to the NFL. So what makes you think you can't do it and this is your backyard? I don't know. I don't get it.
So Missamore is going to fire off a pass. And
great play.
Another fantastic play. Number 20. Now, when I see number 24, I get real happy because that was my number.
Yes, it was.
Jack Froelich, fantastic job right there for that open field tackle. It was 4th down. This is going to be the last play.
And before we get out of here, Rob, one of the reasons that people don't come play up here because they're scared that they're going to realize that, dang, I got to sit behind somebody else that's from town and they don't want to do that.
No.
That's personal. You got to find a way to get over that and come up here and compete if you want to be the best, because we the best.
And with the sound of that boom, that does it. The Renegades come out with a 33-7 win on the 70th anniversary of Bakersfield College Memorial Stadium.
Coach Thompson, 2-0.
A fantastic and really definitive defensive win. They did not give up any points on defense, and they gave up less than 50 yards of total offense. So fantastic work for these Renegades. We're going to take a quick timeout here and come back to you with post-game action of Renegades football. You're listening on Current News Talk AM 1180, 96.1 FM, and watching on YouTube. Go Cades. And welcome back to Renegades action here from Memorial Stadium, the 70th anniversary of the greatest junior college stadium in the land. Rob Chavez alongside the Hall of Famer Kenny Calvin, as we see the Renegades take down the Bulldogs from Allan Hancock College 33-7. And Kenny, one of the things I said is that they had held the Bulldogs to less than 50 yards. Well, at least that was through three quarters. Bulldogs got some garbage yards here towards the end, but 137 yards of total offense, and about 80 of that was just really concession yards. Compared to what they gained last week, over 400 yards, this was an absolute domination by this Bakersfield College defense.
Yeah, and what I like most is the fact that we were able to do exactly what we said to a quarterback that can't extend plays. We're not scared of quarterbacks who stand in the pocket and think they're going to use their arm to beat us, because we have a defensive line that's going to continue to put pressure on you. Weren't intimidated by that. And when we looked at the stat sheet of Hancock, there wasn't anybody else that jumped out at you to make you feel like there's going to be an issue. And this is a Hancock team that did everything they wanted to us last year.
And against OCC as well.
So what that does, it lets you know the caliber of defense that Coach Thompson and his guys have been prepared to play. And that's one of the things that I've been excited to see throughout training camp. Having legends like my coach Judy, my position coach there as an assistant, you got Hall of Fame guys as assistants around here. And that's why you're getting the results, because everybody understands the goal. It's a true team goal, and it starts with the defense. Have to figure out a way to win the turnover battle, though. We were able to do that by getting some turnovers on downs late and some block punts and different things like that to make up for the offensive turnovers. But we have to figure out a way to be consistent on offense to give this defense a chance.
Yeah, again, last week, 446 total yards for Allan Hancock today, 137. And what you talked about was exactly what I was saying, even with Coach Duncan before the game. We were texting back and forth. And I asked him how we were looking. He said, besides Mino, we're pretty much healthy. We're getting Barry back. We're getting Holly back. So we're able to sub guys in and out. And I told him specifically, I can't wait to see you guys send the house and put some pressure on these guys, because eventually they check out. And that's kind of what you've seen with Missamore, who, again, we talked about this with Steve and Chris on Wednesday, that, Missamore, good athlete, good talent out of Arroyo Grande, was there in the in front of the local crowd. He probably had a little bit of juice out there.
He was juiced up out there.
Yeah.
But we squeezed all of that juice out of him today. We squeezed it all out of him today. And it started by creating the pressure up front. And then as secondary guys, not allowing people to get behind you to create big plays. There's no way you're going to beat a Renegade team marching the football down the field every week. Only way you're going to get by us is if we're turning the ball over, we're not converting on third down, and we're giving up big plays. Tonight you saw none of that. Control, like Janet Jackson.
So we're going to get a quick recap of the scoring here. The scoring started off, and again, I said if you had the Renegades getting their first points here in the 2025 home opener as a safety, and you're winning big money right there. That's like betting 0-0 on the roulette.
Right.
You got a safety. They were up 2-0, and after getting another 3 and out, the Renegades drove it down inside field goal territory, and they gave the opportunity to Carlos Villa, who knocked it in for 40 yards, bringing the score to 5-0. And then, of course, the Renegades got the football back, and as they drove it down, they got a draw play on a 4th down play from Corey Watkins, who ran it in from 22 yards for 9 yards off a 22-yard after getting a turnover. So they punched it in, 12-0 Renegades. But then the Renegades, after forcing another 3 and out, get the ball back, and on a 3rd down pass, the ball was tipped out of Malachi Statler's hand, and it was returned for a touchdown by Don't Call Me Dylon Heath. Dylon, it was 98 degrees in the shade. He returned it 59 yards for the touchdown, bringing the score to 12-7, and that's where we ended it at the half. And we were talking about the things that needed to be changed. And usually the Renegade coaches make fantastic adjustments at halftime.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of having the legendary staff that we talk about. And I always talk about the names. Carl Dean, this one of the greatest Renegade quarterbacks of all time, but he's been here coaching since I came back to coach 20 years ago. He was here before I got back, and he's still here in the same role. That's consistency, and that's why you see that kind of offensive development once we can find a way to not turn the ball over. Coaches don't turn the ball over. Players do, right? You can call the perfect offense, but if you're turning the ball over as a player, it affects that. Once you correct that, now you see the genius of these play callers and Seth Dameron and Carl Dean on that offensive end getting those results. It was 15-7 at one point, and we thought we were going to be in somewhat of a dogfight, but some of those play calls, like the draw plays on 3rd and long, catching them off guard, then you go in with the bubble screen plays that you saw, and just the ability for the offensive line on that trap and counter trade play that they run with Jernigan and Bubba Nettles, they're having that H-back set outside like he's a trips tight end type guy, but they're pulling him back inside, and he's kicking that deep tackle out every time. It's a 6-yard gain. That's why Ian Jernigan ends up averaging 5.8 yards a game. So amazing play calling and just a great job of adjustments at the half to stress that lead out and match the intensity of the defense.
And talking about great play calling, Renegades knew they were going to get the football back in the second half. And what do you dial up on the first play at their own 13-yard line? An 87-yard touchdown pass. Carson Woods to Dylan Johnson, making it 19-7.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
And then as we were closing out the third quarter, Renegades also, again, in a third down situation, Carson Woods has to rush his pass as he's getting blitzed, and he's able to hit Dylan Johnson once again for a 34-yard pass. That brings it up to 26-7 before the end of the third quarter. And finally, the Renegades were able to put it away with an Ian Jernigan run. 33-7 Renegades.
You know what I love about Dylan Johnson being a player of the game? Because at the beginning of the season, everybody's asking us, what's going on with the wide receivers? How are the wide receivers? And we were like, well, we don't know yet. It's anybody's opportunity to be the guy. And tonight, Dylan Johnson, a player that we haven't mentioned once individually, ends up being the guy.
We talked about a couple of guys that were returning. We talked about the couple of guys that came from Long Beach. And here's another guy, Dylan Johnson, who comes from a state championship football team, who was a contributor for a Valley championship team for Bakersfield Christian. He stays right here in his own backyard, and he gets 2 touchdowns tonight. So we love to see that. So we're going to take a quick timeout. We're going to come right back. We're going to finish up by previewing next week's games as well as the schedule for Bakersfield College athletics here on 96.1 FM, Kern News Talk AM 1180, and on YouTube. This is the Carpet Outlet Plus Red Carpet post-game show.
You ready?
And welcome back to the final segment of the Carpet Outlet Plus Red Carpet postgame show after the Renegades handily defeat the Allan Hancock Bulldogs 33-7 in the home opener for the Renegades in this 2025 season. Rob Chavez alongside the Hall of Famer Kenny Calvin as he's got his he's channeling his inner Michael Jackson with that win. This is the second time he's been singing. He sang the national anthem for us earlier.
I mean, you got to sing when you see such beautiful results on the field. I'm definitely impressed with the defense's intensity from start to finish. They found a way to keep that momentum going no matter what the offense wasn't doing at times. Couple of unfortunate turnovers, uncharacteristic fumble by Nettles, interception by Woods, interception by Statler. Those are the things that are going to get better as you get closer to conference play. Offense is one of the hardest things to get right early. Defense is somewhat easier. So as you find consistency over the next upcoming weeks, you find ways to minimize those small mistakes, and it makes you look better offensively. But what you got to love is the way that the special teams unit play. Shout out to Carlos Villa. I mean, we can't say it enough. This is a kid that came in reserve duty last year after Jack goes down and some other guys go down, and he gets an opportunity to kick, makes a name for himself last year. This year, he's yet to miss anything except I think that was one that was blocked down there maybe. But his ability to come in and make those 30-plus yard kicks when last couple of years ago we weren't able to kick extra points, right? So finding a way to get guys like that to have confidence, he's now one of the most consistent weapons that we have from a field goal kicker and PAT perspective, so we don't have to go for two and get those penalties that we used to get.
Exactly, and again, it also gives us confidence, like you said, and we don't have to be in four-down territory inside the 40-yard line.
Yeah, inside the 35 and going for it.
Right.
Yeah, but bring them out and kick it. So that's one of the things that I'm excited about. I'm also excited about the kick coverage team because people underestimate the importance of covering kicks after you score points. So many times you're watching the game at home, and I guarantee you tomorrow in the NFL we're going to see it. Team scores, and everybody's on the sideline happy, and while you over there celebrating, somebody's running a kickoff return right back down your butt. If you got a great energy-filled unit like we had tonight, and you got guys flying around like Lucero and Furtado and these guys that might not be household names as starters, making a name for themselves on the kick coverage team, that's how you blow teams out. That's how you end up keeping them on their end and not allowing them to get first downs to where they don't score an offensive point. We didn't give up an offensive point tonight. That's a dream come true for a defense, especially for a defensive coach in his second game of his career.
Again, one of the things that you were afraid of last week was that, you know, if we were to drop that game in Santa Ana, lots of people were going to talk.
All the talkers.
Right. But what ended up happening was we got that win, convincing win tonight, and now everybody that was involved in making that decision to bring Tyler Thompson in as the head coach.
Look a little bit smarter, right?
Definitely a little bit smarter, and I think just really overall with all the changes that are happening up at Bakersfield College, at least they know that the crown jewel of Bakersfield College is in good hands with Tyler Thompson. So congratulations to Coach Thompson for that. And we're going to want to run down the quick scoreboard and talk a little bit about what the next game is for us coming up in Ventura.
Yeah, no, last thing I want to say is, you know, I love getting wins because one of the main reasons is as soon as we don't win, me and you get all the emails like we down here on the field. It's because people get to reach out to us. We're public figures, so they know how to get in contact with us.
It's like getting mad at the weatherman.
Right. we got to answer all these emails about why we didn't do something and why we do this. Kenny, come on, man. Why they run this? We don't have to answer any of those questions when we win.
We just get, hey, man, good. That was a good-looking win. Heck, yeah, it was.
Right.
Yeah, congratulations to Bakersfield College. So the Renegades are going to be on the road next week at Ventura trying to make it 3-0. And by the time – and the next time we're going to be here is in 2 weeks. against Golden West. It is education night. Now, here's the thing. Probably not going to be a free game on education night for everybody, but students, high school students, middle school students, elementary students, educators, going to be free that night.
Right.
So come with your ID, be able to show that you're going to be able to get in. But one of the things we're going to try to promote as much as possible, and our wonderful Lori Ambrose is going to try to get this, is we're going to get cheering sections out here for each high school that's going to show up. Bring your mascot, bring your cheering section, try to be the best. And I would love to see, you know what I'd love to see? A mascot tire roll.
Let's get
the mascot tire roll out here.
Ty.
Let's get the EB out here. Let's get Danny Driller over here. Let's do something. Let's try to see if we can get the Falcon out here.
One of my favorite photos last year was the all mascot photo that we
from
took
the current
at Bakersfield High School.
Yep, that's right. That was awesome. So again, next time we're here is against Golden West, and I'll tell you what, Golden West right now late in the fourth quarter with an impressive win over Riverside, 42-35.
Wow.
So we'll see Golden West next time we come here. El Camino up 17-13 over Canyons right now.
Wow.
In Canyons. So that's going to be it's down in Torrance. Cerritos with a convincing 23-0 win over Moore Park, a Moore Park team that surprised the Renegades last year. Beat us by 3.
They cost me a national championship one year.
Palomar beating ELAC 17-12 right now. So East LA losing. I don't really shed too many tears for East LA.
I don't shed no many tears.
And how about these ones here? We were talking about big scores that were put up earlier today. Pasadena 62-3 over Santa Barbara.
Wow, that's a stinger.
Yeah, 62-3 over Santa Barbara. And how about this? Orange Coast College, who we're going to see a little bit later on today, or this year. Southwestern 71-10 over Orange Coast College. So I tell you what this tells us, Renegades fans, is that at 2-0, if we can come back here 3-0 into that game against Ventura, the Renegades can put themselves into the driver's seat in their conference.
Man, Southwestern beat the orange juice out of Orange Coast College, man, 71-10.
They put him back on the pirate
ship. They squeezed him out.
Man, as he's about to squeeze out the mayonnaise. So that's just about to do it. Really quick, we do want to, again, let everybody know what's going on here on campus this week. Women's cross country is at the Crush Invitational. That was this weekend. Women's golf is going to be at Santa Barbara City College on Monday. So they're going to be taking a trip out there. Men's soccer hosting ELAC. So, and then women's going to be at Folsom, both on Tuesday. September 12th on a Friday, women's cross country is going to be at the Western State Conference preview. And again, September 12th, Bakersfield College at the College of the Sequoias up in Visalia. So lots of good things are going to happen between now and then. One quick thing. September 13th, next week, right here at Bakersfield College. Oh, excuse me. No, it's going to be at Rio Hondo. Either way, check out women's water polo. They're going to be at Rio Hondo College. Look it up on the website here to see how they're doing. This is the inaugural season for water polo. So lots of exciting things happening here. Kenny's going to have one quick thing before we get out of here.
One of the things I love doing about our broadcast is we get messages about who watched the game. So we definitely want to give a shout out to one of our biggest fans, Leonard Craven, attorney Leonard Cravens. He's watching all the way from Cleveland, Ohio tonight. So we go coast to coast with this Go Gays action.
Like George Norrie, coast to coast, with all those alien stories on AM radio. I know you know about that, Julian. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so really quick, before we sign off, I did mention this to Kenny that we were going to talk about this at the first home game before we get out of here. And that's to, kind of as a tribute. Every year,
absolutely,
it seems as if we get some folks that are no longer with us anymore, get people that we lost over the year. And I know the one big glaring loss that we had over this past year was Coach Carl Bowser.
Yes, sir. Coach.
They dedicated the weight room to him in his honor. And, one of the things that I remember about, and we had a pregame show a little bit earlier today, but one of the pregame things that Kenny used to do was get out into the parking lot, into those tailgates. And a great interview that you did with Coach Bowser out there was one of the things I remember. And it was awesome.
That's one of my dream clips that I have. Because as a grown up, I never really had a lot of opportunities to spend time with Coach Bowser unless we were at a Hall of Fame dinner, and we would always sit by each other, and I would try to steal some of his time when he's surrounded by all of the other legends he's coached. But losing Coach Bowser the week after my mom, was definitely tough for me, because it was just a month where I was like, wow, I'm losing the greatest pieces of my childhood. But it was a great lesson on how we can shine on in their memory, and being here and watching that dedication of the weight room and gym for Coach Bowser, and me and Dr. Julian Wilson were here, and we were just relishing the moments of like, wow, man, this is an amazing thing for Coach Bowser, but Julian has a habit of reminding me, hey, this is about you too. And those are the things that warms my heart, because we're connected to all of these great things and great people, but it's always about the name on the front, not the name on the back. We're all renegades, and we're all special people.
Yeah,
Coach Bowser was one of the most special.
And again, for me personally, one of the things that I was really happy for when I got this opportunity here, and I'm still grateful for the folks here at Bakersfield College for giving me the opportunity to be your partner up here. But one of my biggest fans that was always listening, even if she wasn't be able to come here to the game herself, and she loved coming out to these tailgates with my grandmother.
Grandma, yeah.
I miss her. When I thought about coming up here to BC, typically I'd always see her in the tailgate on the way up. And, I lost her back in April. She was one of my biggest fans. She'd always ask me, okay, you got to send me that information.
Yep.
Let me know how I can either watch it or I can listen to it, and we'll put it on the radio or we'll put it on the TV. Somebody will put it on there. So, again, I know now she doesn't have to worry about that. She could just tune in wherever she's at.
They got the best satellite provider in the world, in the universe.
100%. So, again, as we celebrate tomorrow, my grandpa's 85th birthday. It was my
happy cake day, Grandpa.
It was one of my younger cousins, his son Levi LaRoque, his first birthday today. So with folks that are leaving us, we get new life that comes in here. It was great to celebrate life today. Good to celebrate life tomorrow. Good to celebrate with you guys being back up here at the Dameron deck. It's always a great time when we're up here, and it's always a great time when the Renegades get a win.
Absolutely. Rest in peace to Coach George Collis. Rest in peace to Andre the Magician. Rest in peace to Ray Newman.
Ray Miranda, the greatest Iceman in the world. Coach Grider.
All of these legends that help make the legacy of the Renegade experience what it is. We miss you, and we will continue to celebrate in your memory.
So, again, thank you to Carpet Outlet Plus for bringing us this post-game show. Thank you to Steve Nicholas back there at the station. Tune in to us on Wednesday morning to get another recap of today's game.
Early Bird Special every week.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Percy. Thank you, Gio, down on the field. And again, thank you to Julian Wilson for being on the ones and twos over here on the dials, making sure that we've got a feed for you. Once again, the Renegades win 33-7 on the 70th anniversary of Bakersfield College's Memorial Stadium. Tune in to us next week as they take on Ventura on the road. Go Gades!
Boom!
Bakersfield College Athletics thanks you for watching this broadcast. For more BC Athletics sports videos, highlights, and replays, subscribe to Bakersfield College Athletics on YouTube. And for news, live broadcasts, and schedule information across all our sports, visit GoGades.com.